Hey everyone! Happy Friday! This week has flown by. How's everybody doing today? I feel like I missed so much this week, but we still have a lot to talk about today. We are officially done with our, you know, resetting ourselves to get back ready for a school year and have to accept the fact that summer is gone. It went by so quick, as does everything, though, doesn't it? There has been quite a few rather entertaining, and do I say ridiculous, um, situations this week that we're gonna touch all on. Good morning, everybody on Kick. Let me get you up over her. Hold on. Where's my Kick friends? There they are. I see all of you. Hell yeah. Thank you, Luna Ben. Amy, no one you know. Thank you guys for resubscribing. Kathy, thank you for coming in, smashing that thumbs up. Good morning, Jamani. Jack, let me get on. Ah, do, 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 do. Billy, I'm coming back. 51 months is insane. Absolutely insane. Hold on. Holy shit. Oh, let me get this. Okay. You shut up over there. Billy Sunday with the 51 months. Look at that. Holy shit. That is crazy. Thank you so much, Billy. That is literally insane. Oh, thank you, Fatty Fatty. I appreciate that. I know, Akira. I heard that Chloe and Cletus are getting married today. That is so exciting. Congratulations to them. That is so sweet. Love, love will be. What the hell is this? I don't know the lyrics to that. Did you guys know? First off, Dolly Parton, rest in peace. But my God, like I knew she was such a generous, amazing woman, but I didn't realize that she is the original behind so many classic hits. I had no idea that. Even like Ghetto Superstar, one of my favorites. Ghetto Superstar. That is what she I had no idea. Hell, I didn't even know she sang and I you don't want me to sing that one, but will always love you. She is I mean, I knew she was an icon. I knew she was generous. She turned down being a billionaire because she wanted to help the people. But yeah, I didn't realize she was behind so many classic hits. And that is incredible. Narrative coming through with the 53. Support you always. Narrative, thank you so much. It is incredible to see milestones so damn high because that is literally the beginning of being monetized here on YouTube. You guys have been here through the ups, the downs, the turnarounds, all through it all. And that is incredible to me. And I sincerely and deeply appreciate that. Like, really, it's very humbling. Thank you. Sweets the hacker. Why are you hacking, girl? What happened? You changed your name. Thank you for the sunshine. April coming through with a happy poo poo. Big girl for life coming on with the 197. I heard oh yeah, absolutely. She did all the books and yeah, incredible. Rest in peace to her. And then we lost the original Pennywise. I can't think of his name again. Rocky Horror Show. I'm not good with names. I can have a favorite, like not a favorite song, but a song I like on the radio and not even know who the artist is. That type of stuff doesn't stick with me. I can watch an entire series of it. Tim Curry. Yeah, I can watch an entire series of a TV show and not even know like the main characters' names. I am not a name person. It is so bad. So bad. Then you got some people who are entirely named people. And boy, do they love mine. Holy shit. I have never, I have never. The amount of, you know what I would love to know? The amount of times Granny, GW, Jess, or Jessica were written in somebody's mod chat. She ate at a little meet and 3 near her home all by herself. Oh, really? Like she was just like your everyday person. I get what you're saying. Susie is 62 coming through with the 17. I'm still here and always will be. Thank you, Susie. Look at your photo. I know you had fun this summer. Oh yeah, I know. Up to good. Yeah, we're gonna get all into that because to me that was just crazy. The one thing I know for sure is I have like, during that time when I was doing certain things, none of it was with her in mind. But everything I did for somebody who claims to not watch me, and you know what else? Not that we need to prove anything further because, people on YouTube switch around and they lie or they pretend otherwise. The courts don't. But those messages alone prove there was never no fear. There wasn't a freaking fear of me. I'm literally putting a community post up and she's screenshotting it in under a second. Like, what? Where's the fear here? But what I've always told you and what you've always heard me say is the fear was of me doing better than her. That was always the fear. Crazy. Gamers cruising. Not as long, but I've been in chats longer. You sure have. And listen, the amount of time, although I mean it means a lot to me. Being a member at all means a lot as well. So thank you, gamers. You've been here for a long time. Purple Dragon Shield coming through. 20 months. Love you. Mean it. Thank you, Purple. Died Eeyore voice. Passed away today. Oh, the original Eeyore? I always said Britney's Eeyore. Oh, it's me. Nobody likes me. I'm being accused. Maybe I'm just hack. Cough nonsense. Maybe I'll start hacking. I'm good at what I do. Oh, gee golly. So you've made the rabbit hole. Good on you. KB with the 18 months. Good morning, Granny, and everyone. Have a great day. Good morning to you, KB. I hope you have a fantastic day. Oh, what does that mean, straight talker? I know that's right. She watches everything you do. I know without a doubt she does, Angela. Holy shit. Do you think I watch people I'm like supposedly scared of? I mean, or once I can't stand somebody, once I see them a certain way, I don't want to hear shit from them. I don't got time to listen to nothing they have to say. And everybody around me knows that is absolutely facts. She doesn't understand that you used to go everywhere. You weren't even thinking about her when you went to other creators' chats. Oh my gosh, that's the other thing, right? Well, we're gonna pull it all up, but hopefully Justin swings through here today, and he himself can prove this, and we're gonna have him prove that I was absolutely already within his chats well prior to all of this. Ashes with the 32 months, love it here. Thank you, Ashes. Oh my goodness, 32 months, crazy. Yeah, we'll get into that, B Tim. I told you, oldies. Didn't I always tell you guys this? Isn't it funny how I said all of this without knowing all of this? Don't that tell you enough? Hey, Savannah. When people have to like move positions and switch around pawns and, change a whole timeline or explain or change their whole theory or all of that, they're the ones to side eye. I have always said from day one, the only thing Brittany was ever afraid of is me doing better than her. For whatever reason, she felt in her heart that I was dog whistling for Nick to come on panel. And boy, does she not want that to happen. It's a shame. It's a shame that it didn't. Because imagine how different everything could be. These people are unbelievable. Right. She clung to Justin because he got the numbers. It had nothing to do with me. I went in because the topic was about Sebastian. And not only that, but I was in Justin's chats prior to that. I was in Justin's chats prior to this whole divide or her supposedly being friends with them. But where are they all at now? Where's Justin? Where's Josh? Where are all these people that she was such close friends to? Where are they at now? Now she's buddied up to the same people that made her content for 2 years and claimed she was nothing more than a distraction. And what? Their own fucking game? I'll be damned. Wouldn't be me. Yeah, she rode Justin's coattails, used all his content. Absolutely, she did. And as soon as I have time, I'm going to go back to that same time period and my private conversations and see at which point, if ever, Brittany was ever a forethought of mine. Because I assure you, she wasn't. Exactly up to good. I only said that, and Brittany has that into like what she's in her group chat, where I literally say, "What a shame! This is all about sides." James Steele. Good morning to you, my favorite chat entertainer. No, Ali, I've not spoken to him. I've had a lot, to be honest with you, I've had a lot of people come to me. Absolutely. I was gonna get into it, Missy Low. I've had a lot of people come to me to give me things, and I just, it amazes me because on one hand, you got people like Brittany who claim I'm obsessed with her, right? But yet they did, big girl. I had Boston, aka Elaine, offer me a private phone call, gave me her full name, her phone number, everything to get the 411 on Brittany. I didn't take it. I've had a few ex mods offer me similar, offer me a phone call. I haven't taken them. I am now because of all of this, but I haven't before. Um, don't you think that's what somebody who's obsessed would do? Has somebody claim to be a relative of Craig's and know all this inside information and even offer proof as to who they are? And I never ever spoke further with them. So it amazes me that this narrative of I'm the one who's obsessed when she's literally thinking of me every breaking moment. Like literally everything I did, she thought was with her in mind. And that's the projection of the true obsession. Wow, with the 56 months. Wow, you know our little secret. Wow. 56 months is incredible. Thank you, Ma. Wow, wow, wow. What do we have here? The good old days. My wife said my breath smells like fish. I think I have. Now, I can't do big words, James. So sometimes I think I'm the brunt of your joke. Halabutuous. I bet it was funny. Bet it was funny, James. Jess, you're not obsessed with her. She has been obsessed with you for years. Thank you. Thank you, Retro. Somebody who's been around for years to literally see it. I don't need these new folks that don't know nothing coming around telling me who's what, where, and when. A recent document that War Bitch gave her to remit. We're going to get into that. We're going to get all the way into that. I love at the end of the day, everything's a dollar short and a day late, right? So, as many of you know, Brittany filed uh, stay of execution with 19 pages of gibberish, looking for some sort of way to get out of what she can't really get out of because, the time has expired for all of that. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes and what happens with that. And we'll get into it a little bit further. Quite a few things we notice right away, which is in order to pay the cash of $50 and not only file it, but sign it the same day, uh, clearly there's some questionable things there because who actually signed it and who actually filed it certainly wasn't her. Tennessee sweetheart, hashtag FUBJ. Couldn't agree more. Let's get it, chat. Who even made that? Who made that hashtag? That's what I'm thinking, let's not try to be brainwashed all the way through. We have a cool friend coming through soon. Grab some hot chocolate, not a pumpkin spice latte. You know what? I think I will. I think I'm ready for that, Wendy. I think I'm ready for it. It's the only good thing to do with the fall. Lisa coming through at 11 months, totally behind you. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, okay. It was Chloe and Cletus. Okay, that's funny. The moon was beautiful last night. We had too many clouds. I couldn't say it. Exactly, Wendy. You're so everything they're not. I appreciate you, Lisa. I know. Isn't that so funny, Face of America? If you rewind time, and you all remember when Brenda Stapleton gave Brittany the 1,500, and Brittany was on the hot spot because she raised all this money for a lawyer and had done absolutely nothing with it regarding a lawyer, right? So one of the things that were being pointed out is that Brenda Stapleton gave $1,500 and that was not accounted for. And Brittany said, I'm going to use that to fight Granny and PA. Brittany then went on to say that she filed the proper paperwork and that she filed to be pro se. If you recall, we kept pulling up the thing at that time to prove she never entered her appearance as pro se, nor did she file any type of paperwork. Well, isn't that so funny, Demon Chihuahua? She said that Pennsylvania has no jurisdiction over her because she does no business there. Yeah, that's the same thing I thought when it came to Oklahoma. You're going to learn. Do I give her legal advice or do we just file it and watch her scramble? Well, also mention that she's in a similar lawsuit as a plaintiff, Pennsylvania. Well, that's one of the issues. See, when Brittany decided to join in with 9 other people in this big, ridiculous injunction, she at that point signed to PA jurisdiction. And when the time comes for it, do you think the judge is going to say, oh, you don't have a way? Oh, you're out of state? Then don't use our courts for your fuck shit. It's that simple, right? Give her nothing? Yeah. I'm not even going to give her anything. That's fine. She can think that. That's not how that works. And next time you're going to use Chat GBT to write something up, you should remove the obvious Chat GBT parts. Like give this to my defendant. You should remove that. She also said that she's the sole provider for her family, yet said none of the possessions inside the house were bought by her, which can't be true. Yeah, the judge is not going to, yeah, judge is not going to fall for that. So, yeah, exactly, Lisa. Exactly. Any of you from Pennsylvania, from PA, see, it's called when you do the internet and you are broadcasted and you are selling a service, which is memberships and you're selling merch and all of that. You are not singularly selling to North Carolina. It is you are now commercial, and yeah. But that's not even what I'm going on. I just know that because of Oklahoma. That's not even what I'm going on. So happy Friday, GW, TGIF, fellow 9 to 5ers, Cambry. Thank you so much, Cambry. Happy Friday to you. Sorcerer sent a full send. Thank you. And the Mad Hatter. Lisa celebrates her 6 months. Hey, Granny. Hey, Lisa. Pistol Amy coming through. Hold on. Yeah, that Chat GBT, 99 a month subscription. Who, Jacob? She sure has, Al Lover. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is she's just her obsession, as I've always said, her obsession and insecurities and envy have now destroyed her to a point where there's no crawling out of. You can't ignore judgments for almost a year and then decide you now want to get in and play ball. I thought PA never had jurisdiction to begin with. What do you mean? What do you mean you're going to argue jurisdiction now? You waived all of that. That was all waived in the beginning. Pistol Amy, thank you for the 18 months. Happy Friday, Granny in chat. Happy Friday to you. I know, Joshua. Wouldn't you be embarrassed to say that? Although I live with the father of my children, he can't care for them. Judge, please give me the detailed billing for Miss Martucci so I can call Granny a scammer. Guess what? The detailed billing's on there. It's on there. That's what's crazy. she's a can we do the time warp for old time's sake? Sure can, James. We sure can. Call Granny a schema. Yeah, that's all on there. That's on there. Having a secondary lawyer co-sign that the pricing is reasonable is on there. All of that is on there. Now, of course, she wouldn't know because she didn't show up, but it's all on there. So that's wild. Hey, LK. Me too, Tennessee sweetheart. Because you know what? It'd be a lot easier just to pay the dues. But I get it. Interrogatories are invasive. She and her friends sat up there and said that, they're helping her hide monies. She involved a bunch of people. And listen, for all the people, not all of them, for the select few that are mad at me for naming her moderators, do you forget she named them in the cease and desist? I didn't bring them into this. She did. Well, don't forget this, Face of America, and the rest of you chatters. Who recalls Brittany saying that we didn't win the anti-slap? One's in the chat if you remember Brittany saying we never won the anti-slap. GW, I think she believes your attorney just filed what you told him to and he didn't have that right. Although we know better, she doesn't. I don't know what that means, but that would be wrong. How would I know what to file? I'm not a lawyer, and neither is ChatGPT. Lots of ones in the chat. So we all remember that stupid AI song saying we didn't win the slap, and she kept telling people I was lying. Everybody remembers that, right? Okay. Who remembers Brittany coming back to the internet and telling everybody she did not plead in her truancy court and that she basically is just done? She doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't have to pay anything. It's all just done and over with, and she didn't have to take a plead. One in the chat if you recall that. That part too. Brittany was talking about when our court case goes up to appeals court. It was already heard. The merit case took place a month prior to her saying that. Like, this girl just really lies about everything, and she thinks she knows everything. Now, I see a lot of people want to argue a fucking timeline. First off, give me a direct quote of me ever calling Seth Rogers a child essayer or a groomer. I want those words coming out of my mouth. And then, I don't even really care about that. I want you to show me in the filing which part I'm being sued for that. Let's start there. Which part am I being sued for that at? Everybody really want to dig up all this shit? Because we can, and I will. And a heartbeat and a skippy, we can go right back over it. What did your lawyer say about that new letter? Hold on, let me see. Let me see what I can say. Thank you, Candlely, for being a member for 17 months. Good morning, Cindy. Everybody coming in. Good morning. Good morning. I know. Say it isn't so. You can't tell me Brittany's a liar. One Red Rose says she said she just needed to sign a paper to get out of the injunction. Yeah, what's going on with that? Oh my gosh. One's in the chat. If you all recall, Brittany saying she just has to file one paper and she can get out of the injunction. Just one paper. One's in the chat for you remember. Good morning, Kelsey. Good morning, Gertie. My dad's faves saying good morning to everybody over on Kick. Thank you. Right, Miss Jess. BJ's just running up her own bill. Facts, Miss Jess. Andy Bush has said, you never said any of that. Your conversation stuck to Sean's words, statistics, and facts. Thank you, ND Bushes. Could that be why it was never placed in the filing? Do these people on the internet get to keep running around claiming that what I stated was defamatory when they themselves never even placed it in the filing under defamation? Yes, Red Flash, I do think that Brittany said in that filing thinking, I'm going to show Granny and her lawyer now. And I'll tell you why. Because we all heard Britney saying, "We're working on something big. We're working on something big." And when that came out as her something big, I about fell over because I took a bigger shit that morning that had more value and substance than that entire 19-page dribble. Okay. Well, when I sat down and I seen that that happened and I saw and I skimmed just the basics, I still haven't read the entirety of it because I have a lawyer that does that for me and I quite frankly don't have to. But I about fell over. Okay. I'll tell you, I don't know what hurt more, trying to get the shit out or laughing so hard at the stupidity that she really thought she hit the gold mine with that one. Holy shit, that was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Everybody should be embarrassed. Anybody who helped her with that should be embarrassed. But what's most embarrassing is why would you help? Why would you trust the same people that walked you into such a legal bind be the ones to help you out of a legal bind? Okay. How would, let's make that make sense. It's not defamation if it's true. Thank you. They wouldn't want discovery on that. Would that be, Mr. Tomato Head? Thank you for stating that. Would that be why it was never put in there? Okay. So I wasn't going to give Brittany legal advice, but I will because I'm stated that I can. So there's this thing, right? And it's called International Shoe. And International Shoe stands in many arenas where unfortunately people like myself or Brittany wish it wouldn't, but it does. How do you think Tony was able to get me in Oklahoma? I never conducted business there. I don't know. So International Shoe is a landmark in 1945 Supreme Court established that a court has personal jurisdiction over an out-of-state corporation if the defendant has minimum contacts with the forum state such that the suit does not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. Now, we all know that the www in front of the dot in front of youtube.com stands for World Wide Web. Woo! Okay. And the World Wide Web does not say we're going to broadcast to every single state except for the state of Pennsylvania. It doesn't do that. How do you know BJ is lying? Her butt is moving. Yeah, yeah, yep. You know it, James. Specific jurisdiction applies when a lawsuit arises directly out of the defendant's specific activities and contacts inside that state. Now, what amazes me is that Brittany is arguing jurisdiction, right? But while arguing jurisdiction, she allegedly attaches an exhibit that shows that she conducted business and joined in on a quote unquote RICO out of PA with a PA lawyer named Mr. Lasniak. We following so far? I think ChatGPT forgot about that law too, Robin. I'll tell you, I think they did too. Not only that, but can we also point out the time to argue all of that has expired? That is something that if she wanted to argue, she would have had to argue on the very early on. By not arguing, she essentially co-signed that everything we said was factual, therefore given facts that we have jurisdiction over. What's a better concept? Tell me if I'm alone in this. Isn't it a better concept to stop fucking suing motherfuckers? One's in the chat if you agree with me. Wouldn't this YouTube place be a better place? Wouldn't you not have to worry about your chat GPT and everything is saying if you didn't try to sue motherfuckers? Make no mistake, I didn't initiate this. You don't want interrogatories, you don't want to go through discovery, you don't want to have to do any of this. Stop doing it. You thought you were going to sue me and then send me a cease and desist and I was going to eat it? You got to be a dumb motherfucker. You are a dumb motherfucker. How many months are we into this? We filed back in October. We're approaching October of this year. A year later, you now want to argue? Beach said that you're taking food out of her kid's mouth. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm taking food out of your kid's mouths. Fuck you. You want to talk about taking food out of people's mouths? Fuck you. Oh my God, don't get me started. Woo, son, let me calm down. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to practice my self growth. Give me just 5 seconds. I can't help but keep hearing, bitch, better have my money. Yeah, she's going to piss me the fuck off. Taking food out of her kid's mouths. You took food out of my kid's mouths when you joined up with 9 other fucking corrupt cronies to go after me in Pennsylvania on the back of a missing child. You took food out of my kid's mouths when you decided you were going to send me a cease and desist, which obviously is going to be intercepted by my lawyer. Talking about taking food out of people's mouths. You haven't paid a fucking penny. You took food out of your subscribers' mouths when you lied to them and stated that you needed $10,000 a month to stop the online harassment. And instead, you ordered what you yourself called was a backdoor alley lawyer to try to get YouTube channels taken down. I don't give a fuck. You got plenty of food going in your mouth, big back bitch. Stop eating as much then. We all got to make. Bitch acting like she's missing a meal every time she's on the mic. She's eating. Stop eating so much, you big back bitch. Kels, welcome back. Thank you for becoming a member. Talking about taking. Yeah. In between nods, you ain't missing no damn meal. Shut up. Shut up with the dramatics. You did that. And can we think about it for a minute? The judgment's for a little under 10K. She alleges she raised 10K. Right? She alleges she raised 10K. So I ain't taking nothing. I ain't taking nothing out your mouth. Your friends raised that. You know it, Lucianne. Thank you, that Michelle. CJK said, Granny, you see the post in Chaz about Brittany that she had with Tony about the Rico? I'm not too sure if I did. Yeah, Mr. Loverboy over there that everybody's jealous of has bragged that he has a shit ton. Of course, Kels. A shit ton of money in his bank account. Anyhow, even if there were not minimal contacts and the international shoe jurisdiction did not fit, that is something she would have needed to raise during the case well over, again, a year ago. Candy said, I thought she said she had a deep freezer full. Girl, she said 3 deep freezers full. I don't know. It sounds to me, if that's the case, you want to get dramatic. That if you guys only knew the amount of money this scum biscuit has cost me to sit here and make such a statement that I am taking food out of the mouth of her. First off, stop shielding yourself using your fucking children. You shisty, nasty, wasteful piece of shit. Don't forget, that was the quote of mine that she said was defamatory. Hallie's Hobby said last night she was nodding AF. I wanted to do a nod count like breaking chains, but I was channeling BJ and was too lazy to. Yeah, Colleen, pisses me off when she and her cronies accuse you of trying to silence her. It's the other way around. It's what did Brittany call it? DARPO? It's the DARPO effect, guys. Thank God I don't depend on the internet's validation for my peace of mind. Okay? Thank God. Thank God I have enough self-confidence and self-awareness to know, I know it's actually Darvo, to know that this is a gaslight that has taken place from the beginning. We're going to get all the way into it. Also, in order for Brittany to to ask for a stay, she has to post a bond. the time for her to appeal has left the building. Okay. It's absolutely, again, remember the judge stated Britney's freezer is full of Argentine beef. It's full of something. Okay. Lacey Ann, thank you for the gifted. It is literally asinine to say, hey, PA, you don't have jurisdiction over me, but I gave you jurisdiction to abuse your courts in another case, which is why she has dishonest conduct written on her forever filing with the courts. Okay. Now, little tuts, worry about your probationary period, get some good night's sleep, and get your little children to school where they will be provided with a breakfast and a lunch. No missing food. The courts don't give a fuck about your sob story. She should have learned that early on when she wrote a ridiculous declaration claiming, I'm coming to you not as a not as a litigant, but as a mother. It didn't work then. It's not going to work now. The judge didn't fall for your whoopsie doopsie about just giving birth and having a C-section. They don't care. You decided PA was the jurisdiction when you signed that dotted line. You don't get to argue it now. The time for all of that has expired. Absolutely expired. All you did now, we're going to reassess damages and seek that you be, what you call it? You can thank your biddy for that one. If you only had a brain. I can't help but always think of that song with her. If you only had a brain. 2:30 a.m. 2:30 a.m. last night. Something falls and makes a loud noise at the beginning of Britney's stream. You can then hear her son say, I told you so. Meanwhile, it sounds like he's shooting something to wake her up. 2:30 a.m. on a Thursday afternoon. On a Thursday afternoon. Even if PA couldn't make her pay, if you're right, Jada, don't you think, right, girl, come on. Did ChatGPT not tell her that? Absolutely, and Sarah Q, because it is the truth, though. This isn't just like this isn't a where I'm not playing a game of fucking checkers here. I checkmated your ass a long time ago. This isn't a damn game. Her and her buddies thought they were going to just consecutively sue me in different states and keep venue shopping, and I wasn't going to react to protect myself. The fuck out of here. Right, technically it'd be Friday AM, right? I'm so tired of people making excuses about well, they were going after Granny anyway, or blah blah blah. So what? She still signed the dotted line. Okay, she still wrote, I am writing this declaration not as a lawyer or someone engaged in a legal dispute, but as a mother and human being who has endured unimaginable pain, fear, and suffering. Okay, pain, fear, and suffering she is claiming she had with me. You're saying that to me? I wish I was a little bit taller. My receipts are readily available. What are you talking about? Why come back then and say that? Exactly, Sarah B. It's Uno. 2:30 a.m. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 2:30 a.m. That's what I'm saying, Blueberry. Like, what? It's up there. What do you want? You want me to direct you to it? Is that what you needed? You could have said that. You could have said, Granny, I don't know how to find them. Can you show me them? And I could show you them. You'll be all right, though. Go on. Thank you. Sorry you feel that way. Sorry you feel that way. BJ fell into her mic a dozen. Ooh. BJ fell into her mic a dozen times last night, falling asleep. Each time a lie, though, then ended that she's been nauseous a couple days and needs to go to bed. CJK, that part, yeah, she keeps harassing, lying on you, poking, slandering, etc., all while being scared and fearful. That part, keep that part in mind. That's so important. So important. Right, Al Lover. I've been saying this from the very beginning. If you are that confident, right? Like if when I have court, okay? Although I'm anxious and I'm nervous and I don't really want to go, I want to go. You know why? Because I want my truth heard, damn it. Because I can stand in that courtroom, put a hand in the air and the other on the Bible, and swear to your honor that I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. All right? I have no problem speaking into the mic and saying what is what and where is where. I look forward to that opportunity. You know why? Because the truth is on my side. If I had court in North Carolina, I don't give a fuck. If I found out 2 months from now I have court in North Carolina, guess what I'm gonna do today? Find a way to get there. I'm gonna make sure my car has new oil, I got gas in it if I can't afford a plane ticket. Because I am confident in the truth and what I have to say. Every single person that wants to walk their busybody asses into a courtroom should be up and ready and prepared. I heard somebody say the other day that if Brittany had showed up on time to her RO, that they think she would have gotten it. Can you tell me why she didn't show up on time? So she would have the excuse as to why she didn't get it. Y'all play too much, and you play too much with our court systems while claiming to be true crime. It's actually deplorable. True crime. Deplorable. Right. There will be, nor would I never not show up. Good morning. I'm imperfectly. There was no merit there. There was no merit here. No merit there. Here, merit. Too much. Thank you for the raid. That was so nice of you. For those of you coming in with the raid, I do apologize that you probably don't know the backstory here. It's really simple. We are a certain sector over on YouTube and Kick that unfortunately got intermingled while bringing awareness to a missing child's case. And a group of people that were insecure and egos were bruised decided the only way to stop the embarrassment of their own words being played and backed by facts and logic was to sue us using a missing child, Dog the Bounty Hunter, an alleged news company, along with a bunch of misfits from TikTok and YouTube. We successfully won under the anti-slap law that PA newly adopted. They appealed it. We're currently in the appellate process. In the in-between time, one plaintiff sued me in Oklahoma, and another sent me a cease and desist with a threat to sue me in North Carolina. My lawyer proactively reacted. We filed a declaratory judgment in which we won, and we won a judgment for a little under $10,000 to be paid back for lawyer fees. The person has now waited an entire year. That's right, folks. We are approaching a year later to argue that the merits of the case. And it's like I said, it's a little too late for that. Irish Eyes, shout out to you. Thank you for the full send. And the hell yeah. Speaking of fear, the fear she had. Hold on. The fear. Angela, what did you think when she fucking showed you guys this declaration? Now, this part particularly stands out to me. Number 4, I have lost count of the number of times, and you'll notice her signatures here don't match what she filed recently, but I've lost count the number of times I've woken up in a cold sweat, terrified that someone might follow through on the threats that Jessica and her followers have made against me. She didn't just stop at insults or gossip. She looked straight into her camera and told me, I will make you an effing victim. And she's lying about that because my camera was not on. And she left out the context behind that. That was me begging Brittany just to leave me alone. And me saying, you so badly want to be a victim, I'll fucking make you one. Leave me alone. She left all of those parts out. Of course she did. Exactly, Demon. Brittany still had a chance in front of the judge with the RO. Kathy, thank you for being a member. 16 months. So anyway, the number of times she's woken up in a cold sweat. You are not going to put that on me when we all see exactly what it is. Then she has, these words haunt me. It's just not fear for myself. It's the gut-wrenching fear that I may not be able to protect my children. The amount of times we have watched her nod off, sit online, and prioritize YouTube over her children, that was nothing more than a cowardly attempt to emotionally pull on the judge's heartstrings, the same way she does her subscribers. Thank God my judge, our judge, was not Dirty Diane. All right. Thank God for that. Ronnie with the 30 months. So happy to be a member here. I got your back. Thank you, Ronnie. You don't drag up at this point and get an audience with the judge. Right. It's not the way it works. She even lied about truancy court as if people weren't going to see it right on the docket. Guilty, 6 months probationary period. And the idiot that claims to be true crime, she can't even speak properly about what happened during the court hearing. Of course, I know what happened. I'm smart enough to figure it out. Right. Clue and Cletus scared her. Queen scared her. Jay scared her. Everyone speaking on her as danger to incite bad things. Hallie says her response sounds like she's in 4th grade and had to write up problems with a classmate. Isn't it gross? It's just crazy. She's so immature and mentally state is stuck at being a quarter of her age. She also lied that she talked to the judge in the RICO. Yeah, she did. She also lied that the CPS worker went to the wrong home for a month. I mean, we could probably spend less time pointing out the time she was honest than the time she was dishonest, which is exactly what the judge called her on the ruling, dishonest conduct. That's the second time PA courts have deemed her a dishonest litigant. What a shame, what a shame. Anyhow, since the Sit wants to mess with the timeline, these were interesting. It's very clear. Approved BJ kept pressing until legal action was taken against Granny. We will start on September 17th and go to September 25th until she finally succeeded. Wow. Ben just going to accept what they were saying about Seth? What the F? I'm done. I'm not kidding. I'm not being nice or trying with anyone else. Ben is Ben George. Ben George gave Brittany, in his mind, over $40,000. Do you all recall when Ben George came on panel with me? Does anybody remember that day? I could replay it. It was a very nice conversation, actually. Very nice conversation. Of course, it made Brittany insecure. Why is Brittany defending Seth like he's her lover boy? He said it again. Ben, come on over. Danny, thank you for hitting a thumbs up. If you could all take a moment, smash that thumbs up. Ben George goes on Granny's panel. We had a great discussion. Now Granny's in Justin's chat. I'm really done. She's trying to reel in all my friends in front of me against me. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard because, well, I didn't ask Ben George to be in my chat. And I've gone in Justin's chats prior to anything to do with Sebastian. I never went in any of these chats with Brittany in my forethought. The only one that was on my brain at that time was Sebastian. And I've always said and always stated that I wish there wasn't a divide when it came to this case. Because do you know how differently it could be if we could all have just spoken together like adults? The awareness that could have brought to Sebastian, but insecure, busybody, big back bitches like Brittany had to make sure we couldn't. Now here's law offices. This is Queen. Barbecue Lady got served a C&D today. Did Tony and Seth send it? And then Elaine says, I wind it if she's kissing up because she didn't want a cease and desist. Maybe. Did anyone else get one, I wonder? Still to this day, I never received a cease and desist letter, if anybody was wondering. Never got one. Queen goes live about barbecue get one. Elaine said, I said kissing up. I have no idea what she said. I'm in his chat. But last night, Tony said Britt and Justin were not going to get one. I'm just speculating. Now let's flip this around, because that's the conversation I was having with Chris Proudfoot about litigation. The conversation was, I get why you're not just out here suing everybody, because lawsuits are fucking expensive. That's the conversation, okay? It's not easy to go out here and just file a bunch of lawsuits unless you want crazy ramblings, which will just backfire on you. Sure did, oldies. Seth actually started with the original CDs and turning legit people away from searching. Angela says she lost her mind when Ben and Sarah went on your panel. I'm just speculating. Oh, nah. Not that nasty granny, because she called Seth a predator groomer this morning. See, I love that. I love that. So September 17th, let's look for that. I'm going to pull that up, because I'm confident I did not. All right. Let's see. Let's dig it up. September 17th, they claim. Okay. You know what? You're wrong about that, but even if you were right, it was never put in a filing. So what does that tell you? Sorry, give me a second. I mean, surely that's something you put in immediately, wouldn't it be? So what date they say? September 2024. September 2024. Why doesn't Brittany unprivate all the streams that she hid? Let's throw an emoji in the chat if you think Brittany should unprivate all of the streams that she hid. What are you hiding? Can you imagine how many defamatory statements Brittany has made against families that are victims that they could easily sue for? Okay, September, here it is. Oh, that one's called A Conversation Between Different Sides. Let's open it. We're going to open it and we're going to word search. So I called him a groomer and an SAer is the claim. All right. Show transcripts. Oh, I don't like doing it that way. Hold on. Groomer. Nothing comes up for that. All right. Okay. So I said this word. All right, let's listen to where I deserve to have been sued. You guys ready? First time groomer comes up. I click it on this timeline. There's a lot of people that can't stand her. So you're saying you're tired of the drama? You, sir, have paid for the drama. You have financially supported the drama. So I find it a little rich for you to come over here talking about drama and how it's going to help Sebastian when his photo's not in my thumbnail. His name's not tagged.
I'm not talking about your drama. I'm not talking about Brittany's drama. I'm talking about everyone's drama. Everyone. Stop.
Well, that I agree with, but again, he's not
that's
tagged.
that's my point. It's everyone stop. Including Brittany.
I don't feel like pointing out that Seth Rogers is potentially a groomer and a child SAer. I don't find that to be drama. I find that to be a very serious topic. You hear that? Potentially being. You hear that? Let's hear it again.
Including Brittany.
I don't feel like pointing out that Seth Rogers is potentially a groomer and a child SAer. I don't find that to be drama. I find that to be a very serious topic. Oh, potentially being a groomer and a child SAer? Oh, potentially being? That is not a statement of fact. That is not defamatory. Let's go on. Yeah, because she was talking about me, Chelsea. Because Brittany spoke about me that night. And I'm tired of Brittany poking. And
wait, you're calling Seth? What did you just say about Seth?
I said that the potential that Seth is a child groomer and SA is important.
Potential.
Because SF wrote, are you going to discuss Seth getting a girl under 15 pregnant when he was 22 and taken off for Georgia and having an abortion while he is also involved with a different 13-year-old? Are you cool with child RAPE? There were two people that straight up called Seth Rogers a pedo. One was SF and one was JLR. Both of them said it with confidence and said, sue me. Were they sued? Chat, were they sued?
Proof. Is there proof?
You know what? If we go by the age and what Seth has said, yeah, I feel like there's significant proof.
Okay, what about CP and his allegations and Child Protective Services coming in?
Well, let's talk about that. Child Protective Services came in because he spanked Sebastian with the belt, right? That's right. Is that what you're talking
about? Multiple states. So that's what I'm saying.
Let's name the states.
Stop it. Let's stop it. Stop.
Also with Seth as well.
Right. That's what I was going to say next.
It has nothing to do with Sebastian's disappearance.
Well, actually, I can tell you. Why bring it up then if it didn't have anything to do with it? So anyhow, as you can see there, I said potentially, and then I backed it up with where that statement was originating from. Therefore, that is not defamation. Okay. I mean, we can listen to the whole thing again. I can tell you how it may have something to do with it.
It might. More speculation, more wild accusations. Stop it. This is my point. Stop it.
Then why the bias?
Right. But we can speculate because Katie was the last to see on
I'm not biased. I am biased because
I'm not biased. I'm biased because
she was the last person with the boy. That's it. That's my bias. That is my bias.
She was asleep.
I've said it from the beginning. It doesn't matter if she said she was asleep.
Anyhow, do we get the point there? That is absolutely not defamation. There were an actual private investigator and JLR were both saying it as statements of fact. And I was saying possibly, potentially. So therefore, that was false. And they knew it was false. But because I was Brittany's target, because I'm her target of obsession, they ran with it. Oh, I seen somebody with their timelines claiming that too. Did you clip me saying it? Or are you just saying I said it? Anyhow, so she goes on to say, so I wouldn't say any kissing up would work for Seth. LOL. If he plans to send her one, it'll be no matter whose ass she kisses. LOL. I'm thinking possibly Truth and Barbecue Lady got them today. Again, I want to remind everybody that was never written. That was never put in. That was never put into the filing. Cease and desist means nothing. It is weird. I agree. These aren't regular cease and desist. They are federal injunctions for what I'm understanding. They misguided all of you. And then no other than Boston says, well, that's what Nick the scammer said, right? I just don't know how I feel about it. I guess all I can hope is he didn't put Sebastian's name on it. That would look bad, my opinion. And then Yvette says, it says not to speak on Seth or Sebastian, I'm guessing. That's gross. You don't want a missing child to be mentioned? Oh, that's more than a C&D. That says protection order. These creators, their dangerous rhetoric may face potential criminal charges ranging from charges. These people think they're LE. Do you see what this says? Charges. These creators and their dangerous rhetoric may face potential criminal charges ranging from hate crimes, interstate communications, terroristic threats, fraud by wire, radio or television, false information and hoaxes, fabrication of evidence, and other alleged acts. The only dangerous rhetoric that took place is all of this. Nick wanted Clue's email, just like did to Barbecue Lady. Clue is definitely getting one, no doubt. I hope they all get theirs soon. Granny has been psycho today. Does that sound like fear? So the day I've been psycho is this day, guys. This is the day I was psycho. The day that Ben George came up on panel and her mod is the day I was psycho. Yeah, I think that's defamatory. I think that's defamatory. Hey, Tip. Granny has been psycho today. I want to wear her skin. With me so far, Tony has already told Justin and Brittany they were safe. I think it's the real deal. They have made some really big claims and accusations. Really? Like you pulling up a roadmap to Sebastian's home, floor by floor? Dog the Bounty Hunter attorneys speak live. Joseph Lasniak will join us. The lawyer for Dog and Nick the Hat is on his channel. The lawyer was in Britt's chat? No. Mr. E and Tony Mathis, he's explained in a cease and desist. Mr. E's the channel. This is right. Nick, I'll send you a link to show you who he is in a bit. Here we go. Well, this attorney happens to actually be in her county, which is Delaware County, PA, but it's a coincidence. Megan says, could Granny be the link to Pennsylvania? This is why I was chosen. And we have gone over this so many times that is nauseating. This is why I was chosen. Okay? So stupid. She gave him a call later. He looks like a real attorney. Nobody ever said he was a fake attorney. The thing was that we didn't believe he was running his Twitter. Shake my head, she's a bitch. 21 minutes ago, I write, every legitimate question deleted based on quote-unquote sides. That right there is the problem. There wasn't one mention of what their plans are in aid in his search efforts for Sebastian Rogers. Yet another distraction entering in and taking the focus off Sebastian, in my opinion. So I called this before they even filed it. I knew right then and there, before they even filed it, that this was nothing more than a distraction. Also, don't celebrate too soon. If you don't think the Proud Folks can do exactly what Seth Rogers' team is doing, you're surely mistaken. All quote-unquote sides have done exactly what that attorney pointed out, including his own clients. Such a shame a child's disappearance has once again turned into useless legal actions, furthering the distraction. And it did. Because nobody wanted to touch Sebastian's case after this. Nobody. You don't find a slander against Katie and Chris? What? Didn't they nickname her KK for Killer Katie? Is that real? You won't find a slander against Katie and Chris? And the bullying towards you as well. Oh, poor Brittany. Nice try, you ugly toucan-looking bitch. I hope she's slapped in the face with one. You are so insecure, Brittany. This is exactly what she needs. And I love this from Yvette. We have free speech. We understand the difference between defamation and speaking opinions. Granny doesn't understand that. I want you all to remember, Brittany's big defamatory statement from me was, I described her as a lazy, wasteful piece of shit. That was her big defamatory statement, folks. I'm hoping please give that bitch one. Now, Brittany makes a post within 0 seconds. She's sending it into her mod chat to seek validation. That's pathetic. Very pathetic. Imagine calling someone's parole office and trying to have someone put in jail because you disagree with their approach to a case. I'm hearing multiple creators call Nick the Has PO and try to land him in jail. What the actual fuck, people? I bet the same people who did this are now trying to talk to him and make some type of peace agreement. Y'all need Jesus for real. I hope you are all called to expose. So she's talking about me there, okay? I never contacted his parole officer. You know who did? The Proudfoots, rightfully. Real life going ass mofos. I bet 50 Granny is one. I bet, what's my judgment? Add 50 to it because you owe me. I can guarantee the same thing she told Tony. There you go. Look, I wrote this a minute ago and Brittany's screenshotting it. I said it's one thing to hide behind your religion. It's a whole other to hide behind a missing child. It's beyond transparent whose concern is genuine and who's using the situation for personal vendettas gain. Gross, all of it. Within 1 minute, Brittany screenshotting me. Look who's at the top of her watch list. Granny, The Hive, Clue. But she don't watch us and she's afraid of me. I want you to keep in your minds as we go through this that Brittany told the judge she wakes up in cold sweats. She can't eat. She can't sleep. She can't focus. She can't be a mother. She can't do anything because she's so afraid of me. My toucan looking ass, she's so afraid of me. Oh, and then look, Earth puts up. The Proudfoots are filing police reports against Nick the Hat, notifying his parole officer. So Angela said, could it be the Proudfoots? And it was, because guess what? Nick added that as an exhibit. That Chris Proudfoot and his parole officer put a stipulation against him. He wasn't allowed to work with police or speak on or contact the Proudfoots again. Like her personal vendetta against Seth because he reminds her of her ex. Oh, that's funny, Brittany. Let's get to they're saying multiple creators. See, she doesn't want it to be exactly what it is. She wants it to be me. But Proudfoots are surely behind it too. They don't have grounds to file police reports. But you do, Brittany? You have all the grounds to get an RO against Chloe and Cletus? You fucking idiot. Obviously, the parole officer agreed there was grounds. Here goes Yvette. It's not your fault you're on the right side and she's on the wrong side. She's mad because she's not getting the attention. Not getting the attention. My views were higher than Brittany. I was coming out with breaking news about Nina Glass. And it wasn't about attention, though. It was about awareness for a missing child. This woman is so fucking gross. She's been begging Nick, Justin, and Josh from the lab to talk to her. Have any of you ever heard me beg any of those people to talk with me? They aren't interested. She threw QBJ and all of them under the bus yesterday. Said she wasn't friends with any of them and don't lump her in with them. Oh, okay, Brittany. Never. I never tried to hang out with them. Never tried to get them to talk to me. So ridiculous. Bet you Nick won't be going on Granny's panel now. So there it is, folks. She was afraid that I was trying to get Nick or Justin or Josh to talk to me. Bet you Nick won't be going on her panel now. I just had a long talk with Tony. Mind you, I never wanted Nick on my panel. I never invited these people on my panel. What was it you talked to Tony about? Why would Nick no longer go on Granny's panel? Betty's live in 5. The pendulum is swinging. How to swing now, Brittany? How to swing when Nick came out here and blamed you for why you guys are losing everything. It's riveting. Doesn't seem like Granny got a C and D. Here's Jay sharing out that Betty was exploitative. Nope. Why? Was she supposed to? Yvette says yes. Suddenly, Yvette, who went from they think it's going to be Clue and Truth, is now confident it's going to be Clue, Barbecue Lady, Granny, SF, and Crabtree. How'd you know that, Yvette? When? But I thought only Barbecue got one. That's what Brittany told us the other night on the call. Oh, because Brittany said it. And I never got one. To this day, I never received a cease and desist. But she hasn't been yet. 5 C&Ds, possibly 6. Granny is the 5th. I believe the lawyer said one would go out and see what happens, or am I making that up? I would say now Granny and Crabtree should go out. And then, isn't that SF that keeps digging into Seth? Thank you. Isn't it SF that called him the child predator? Numbers were down. Here we go. Right there. That's all you need to see. Numbers were down. It does me no good to go live on an off time. Were there a lot of people live? Nobody even responded to her. Nobody even responded to her. Because for Brittany, it was always about views. It was always about money. That's it. That's all. She didn't give a fuck about anything else. She wanted to make sure that I never spoke to Nick, Justin, or Josh. Why? If it was all about Sebastian, why? Because Brittany wanted sides. And at the same time, you have her going to another creator who also claims that he gave her $400 for a microphone, asking him to sue me. Now it's on the news. Brittany was on calls and was already being updated on who was originally supposed to get C&Ds. And Brittany was concerned about numbers and Granny. This part made me sick. You guys know that Brittany reached out to Nina Gomez as an alleged survivor of DV. Let's hope she responds. Why, for views, Brittany? Hi, Nina. My name is Brittany Jackson. I run a true crime channel on YouTube. I'm reaching out because I have followed Sebastian's case from the beginning, and I've always advocated for Seth and for you. How could you always advocate for Seth and for her when you didn't know her? When I saw you share your story, I cried with you. I am a domestic violence survivor myself, and I felt your pain in my soul. I'm so sorry for all your children and you have gone through. Don't ever talk about the way I speak again. Listen to how she writes. I'm reaching out to you because I was wondering if you would be willing to allow me to ask you a couple questions. I would never pressure you or anyone to speak with me publicly or anything like that. I just have a few lingering questions that I feel you could possibly clear up for me. I hope you are enjoying this beautiful Sunday. I hope to hear back from you soon. God bless you and your beautiful family. You are a beautiful family. Brittany don't know how to distinguish there, or your, and you. The woman is illiterate. A fellow domestic violence survivor. Great angle, BJ. Here goes Yvette. I also want to remind you to send Nick all of your tipping cows emails, please. It's likely unrelated to Sebastian's case. It's more like one of the crazy haters, but he said he would help you. Pays off to have friends in high places for sure. Please send them all today so he can send them off to the person who can help. Yeah, I need a friend that says I have the power to put you in the Me Too movement and the power to take you out. That's the type of friends you need, isn't it? When you do dirty shit. I don't need that. Cow tipping? It's not about Sebastian. The whole filing was based off Sebastian. This is so disgusting. It pays off to have friends in high places. Yvette had already been in touch with Nick before Brittany got his number. Only she can answer what this means. Here's Brittany watching me again. I'm going to go live in 1 minute, and there's Brittany watching me. Mind you all, she's terrified, guys. Her world is closing in. She tries to hide it, but she can't. She can't eat. She can't sleep. She's terrified. But yeah, she's watching my every move. The conspiracy theories, the finger pointing, the quote unquote hate channels, and appearance of distant relatives. What is really happening here? She tagged Justin again. This bitch is obsessed. Justin isn't interested in talking with her. Why is she trying so hard for him? I wanted to correct what Justin had said about me the night prior, you dumb bitch. When Warschmiegel ran in there and blocked me and lied to him that I was talking about him. How's Justin feel about you now, Brittany? I think we should clip it. I have told Tony about her and how back she is, though. I have told Tony about her. It's amazed me how obsessed she is with Justin. How is that showing an obsession? By tagging the creators that are covering the missing child and aiding in a divide amongst the community, that makes me obsessed? Okay, one bad day can't be talked about, but Granny's DVRO can be mocked and talked about. Facts. That's really pissed me off. Justin's the only creator I truly align with. And then Elaine says, and she knows you love Justin. She knows he loves you. That's why. Love. Love. Keep in mind where Justin's at now and what he has to say about Brittany. Stupid bitch. Why can't she go the fuck away? Why are you watching? Why are you staring at my community post and watching my streams and every move I make? I'm not paying no mind to this lady. This has been years of this. She's obsessed with me. Every move Brittany makes is based around me, and she feels that every move I make is based around her. I assure you that is not true. She is projecting, and her obsession and her insecurities and her fragile ego has led her into the history books with Pennsylvania's first successful anti-SLAPP, an attempt at free speech. I really, truly hate her. I know that's bad. Remember the sweet Christian? I don't hate anybody. Y'all, Granny says she hates me. This bitch, she's in rare form, claiming Seth lied about being on short-term disability and about his shoulder injury. Shake my head, no, he didn't. How do you know he didn't? What was that, September 23rd? Let's see what stream that was. September 23rd. How do you know he didn't, Brittany? All right. Let's see what stream it is. So I said he lied about disability. Let's check that. I'm going to show you right how these people lie. All right, ready? Who's ready to see it? SF has actually put out a lot of proof to prove that Seth Rogers was on short-term disability for about 6 months before Sebastian disappeared. He went back. Wait, what did I say there? SF has put out a lot of proof? Hold on. Been posting on it. Hey, Mama Michelle. Thank you, Teresa. It's being turned into a big... It is, and it's really just unbelievable. A big sideshow on X. Is he searching this week? So he was supposed to go out there. Let's pull it up and take a lookie. Yeah, SF is fully supporting it. SF has actually put out a lot of proof to prove that Seth Rogers was on short-term disability for about 6 months before Sebastian disappeared. He went back a couple weeks, like 2-3 weeks, back to work. Was reprimanded at work for allowing the inmates to steal like the long johns. And then shortly after Sebastian disappeared, he's been off work since. So, you know, all these... So Brittany's going over to Tony and them and saying, Granny's saying, Granny's doing. Behind each thing I said and did, it was under what SF was putting out. You see how she manipulated this? People are asking, well, where's proof that Seth did this or Seth did that? Yeah. But even when they have the facts, they just don't want to look at them, you know, or they excuse it. They excuse it. And the whataboutism. Well, what about Chris? What about Chris? Do you have Chris's work? Why can't you just acknowledge one for what it is? Why does it always have to be like played off each other? It's so juvenile. You can't just acknowledge the red flags about Chris, the red flags about Katie, and the red flags about Seth without the whataboutisms. You don't get to dismiss everything you hear and see simply because of the fact that you don't want to see it. Sometimes there's just I mean, the same could be said with all of them. Like, okay, you're pointing out this about all of them. What about all this? Oh, yeah, so many people try to say it was normalized back then. Back then, we're talking like 20, 25 years ago, normalized. It's interesting, too, that Chris has an alibi being at work, and same for Seth, but Seth can't be involved, but Chris is definitely in two places at once. Right, there are the things that drive me nuts, Genevieve. And there are the things that I thought, well, maybe if we could have like an open discussion, right? Maybe if we could stop the whole quote unquote side things. We could get a lot further in discussions. But the fact of the matter is, these people are like being paid to push their agenda, which is funny because they always make that claim. They always make that claim about people that support the Proudfoot. Listen, I don't know if the Proudfoots are paying off Clue or Cletus or Truth. I freaking doubt it. I highly doubt it. What I do know is they're not paying off me. They're not paying off Jay. If they are, she hasn't said a word to me. There is proof, Penny. There is proof. Well, look at that. What did Granny say? A divide. I wish that we could come together. That I don't know if the Proudfoots are paying off anybody, but I highly doubt it. What is this? Is this me being fair? Throughout this entire coverage back then of Sebastian's case, I have always been fair. I have always been fair. Yet they drug me into this because Brittany's insecurities and nothing else, nothing more. She knew that what I was saying was coming from SF. She knew that it was backed up with shit, but she was saying Granny was saying it. The proof is like right there. Here, I'll show it to you and let's see if you acknowledge it. I know that's kind of, I don't know, a hard thing to do when it goes against the narrative that you're pushing, but I'm more than happy to pull this up for you again and show you proof. Oh, well, proof. Why was Seth Rogers? Why wasn't this put in the declarations, Brittany? Why wasn't this put in a complaint? SF writes, Jennifer Kopdorfer finds it sus that Katie wasn't comfortable staying at the house alone while Chris worked out of town to make a living and pay the bills. Maybe this concept is foreign to JC and Seth, considering Seth has been milking disability since August of 2023. The shoulder injury wasn't from searching as portrayed. He got hired as a jailer, and 2 days after receiving his first raise, less than 6 months in, he started milking the disability system. Jennifer Kopdorfer calls Chris and Katie for not cheating the insurance system. That's some solid investigative work. Why are they going after Chris and Katie so hard, not focused on searching for Sebastian? Is this just a cover campaign for Seth? What's the payoff they are working towards? And don't you forget that Seth came out here and said that he got injured at work. Remember that? And his new glasses were broke and all of that. And then it was debunked. Him and Tony came out here and lied and said that he was beat up while being a jailer. Anybody else remember that? Got a raise, and 2 days later, he applied for short-term disability for a shoulder injury that he now claims was recently. I know, it is such a joke, Jay. That he now claims is a recent injury from looking for his son. The same injury that is quoted in the DVR. Okay, because here it is. On short-term disability on 8/4/23. Injury from looking for his son. The same injury that is quoted in the DVRO paperwork. Why did he lie about that? You know, a lot of people always say the Proudfoots lie. Hey, Black Hawk, you're the dummy that doesn't realize by Pennsylvania law, I'm not responsible for commenters chatting. Secondly, you're the dummy that never wondered why I was never sued for that. Idiot. None of this was put in litigation, Black Hawk. Go read it, you dense moron. If it's defamatory to call Seth a predator, why wasn't that put in the filing? Use your big boy brain now. What a dummy. All the time. The only one I ever hear people point out is the thud, right? A noise turned to a thud. Who cares? My ass won. I'm just glad your ass has been sued. My ass won. Dummy. I'm glad I was sued too. so I can shine a light on a fake private intelligence group running around here LARPing, so that the next family that is approached, when they search up their name, they will find everything they did in this missing child's case. I'm thankful for that too.
That's the only lie I've ever heard these people like show, like actually point out. I can put together at least a dozen inconsistencies, changes in stories from Seth, and they still ignore it. And
they probably can't read, would be my guess, KNS. I mean, look at them. They probably cannot read. There's a reason this was never placed into filing. There's a reason there was no claim of defamation here or elsewhere. Okay. If these idiots don't want to use their brains because they're blinded by hate, then so be it. Do what you got to do, boo. We don't give a shit. You're the one supporting all the wrong things.
Why? What do you get out of that? What do you mean it doesn't prove anything? It proves that he was on short-term disability. What doesn't it prove? It's literally proof that he was on short-term disability. That's what I mean, Michelle. Like, because you don't want it to prove anything. But if this was Chris Proudfoot, and we pulled up that for 6 months, up until 2 weeks before Sebastian disappeared, that he was on short-term disability, you people would be having a field day with it.
Hey, hard times.
Because he works for us. He's a government employee.
Texas girl, thank you for the full send.
I don't know. It just it baffles my mind how you people just see what you want to see.
Shout out to Grammy H, Mike, Delicious, and Irish Eyes and Texas girl. Thank you guys for the support on Kick.
Could have a lot to do with it, Michelle. It could have a lot to do with understanding why he put a GoFundMe in somebody else's name, why the Cash App was in somebody else's name. I don't know. Or we can put on our tinfoil hats you guys like to wear over there.
Yeah, let's do that.
What did he lie about, though, Constance? I don't want to hear he lied. I want it broken down, please, respectfully. Tell me what is the lie, right?
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little
Are you talking about when he prank called? That was fucking weird. I agree. That was stupid.
I'm talking about Chris Proudfoot here.
Realize that was you? You're playing games? Like, I get it. Yeah, that's very bizarre.
That's me talking about Chris.
So we'll put a mark next to Chris's name for being weird, right?
Right.
That is very weird.
Agreed.
But then I can also point out over here, I don't know. It just doesn't mean much. That's all. Did a big thing at the end of his last video. Just crazy. Putting stuff on pedestal. Yeah, because he's being paid off by the same little team. You know what I mean? These people are over there always.
Thank you so much.
Screaming that people are being paid off. People are being paid off. And then you find out that they're literally all connected.
Right. All connected.
They're all connected.
Like in conspiracy.
So who's really being paid off here?
Conspiring.
It's a bit infuriating.
It is. That it is. You're the best, Annie. Thank you. So
I'll tell you what.
This is where Brittany lied.
It's easy for followers to sit at home and complain about demanding proof of everything, while you creators do your best at the same time to get so much crap. Rico Suave. What's shady about it, Michelle Vokey? It has zero to do with Sebastian's disappearance. Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's shady that Chris called in, using a voice changer. But it's not shady that we find out here that Seth lied to everybody and collected a ton of money.
That was always my whole point. One doesn't have to diminish the other. They can both be wrong. But for whatever reason, early on, there was an immediate divide. And the divide was heavily pushed by no other than people like Brittany. That was the whole point. So, of course, Brittany lied and said, I said this and I said that. No, and damn well, that all came from SF. None of it came from me. Amazing how that works. What do we have here?
For light, I could do that as well. Throw. It's like somebody else said, is Sebastian with Sharon is a setup. Say,
This amazes me. Just amazes me. So we went to that date. Let's get back over to this one and see what we get here. I'm going to catch up. When I leave here, is she being ugly? He re-injured himself. Yes, Angela. She's back at being a bitch because no one accepted her on this side. Look at the delusions. At what part of that was I being a bitch? I was actually being very calm and saying, here are facts. Let's not do the whataboutisms, but whatever. That's Brittany's insecurities. So now she told her chat we are being paid as if she knows for a fact. Well, we did. We saw that there were super chats given. We saw there were cash apps given. We saw that. Did anybody ever see the Proudfoot send any cash apps or super chats to anybody over here? Pretty is with the 35 months, taking care of my dad. Oh, is he doing okay? You have to give me a call, Pretty is. Give me a call later. Right, you were being paid. Like, again, we seen it. We seen the super chats. We seen the cash apps. Nick is on her chat. All hell is breaking loose. Here's Brittany. He's going after her. He said if he knew she was in Delco, he would have went for her first. And did. And did. Never got a cease and desist, but sure got that. Brittany, someone needs to get this. I'm going to go try to dump my phone quick.
I'm not gonna. I'm waiting on Seth to call me right now. I'm not gonna do this again with her. I now also have Nick's personal number, who just texted me. So if I can, I just asked one of you to get me in touch with Seth.
I now have Nick's personal number. He just texted me. Is this the same day that Brittany said, Angela, is this the same day Brittany said she never spoke to Nick? And then 30 minutes in says, y'all, I talked to Nick today. Thank you, Great and Grace. Tony even called her by the wrong name, called her Tiffany in a super chat for covering Sebastian. How embarrassing.
The minute I talk to him, I'm going to get Seth's personal number.
I'm going to get Seth's personal number. Because what is more important than to make sure a father with a newly missing child knows all of the negative things being said about him on social media? I mean, isn't that priority number one? I've always said from the very beginning that if Seth had people around him that truly cared, he would have never, ever, ever been surrounded with all this drama instead of facts and paying attention to what mattered. It is sad. It is sad that Brittany thought it was so important to get a hold of them because Granny's saying what SF said. 20 months. Have an exceptional Friday, Granny. Fuck these morons. I'm back on replay. Thank you, Shelby. Yeah, Brittany is bunny boiler crazy and weird AF. I agree. Right, Jason, do this again with her. See, this has always been about a personal vendetta from Brittany. It has nothing to do with Sebastian. It had nothing to do with Seth or Tony or Nick. Fucking unreal.
Something's got to give. She's doing this again. She's blaming Sebastian again. I'm just waiting on him to call me right now, and I'm going to make sure that he knows. And if I could get him on the panel with me tonight.
And if I could get him on the panel with me tonight. There it is, folks. There it is. I take you back to Brittany saying she had no numbers. Others were live. And then if I can get him on the panel with me tonight. Now, a lot of people took the statement that I said on Jay's panel where I said he probably, and everybody's leaving out the context behind all of that. The context behind that was everything Seth Rogers himself said on Pascal's. It was Seth Rogers who came out here and said, Chris Proudfoot doesn't want Sebastian around his daughter. It was Seth Rogers who came out and said, he went through this and never got proper therapy. All of that came from from Seth Rogers and Chris Proudfoot. Okay? Most of it, Seth Rogers. Brittany wanted to bury her head in the sand because she wanted a reason to fucking hate me. This was all personal for her. This had nothing to do with Sebastian, Seth, integrity of a case, nothing. which is why when she covered Sebastian's case the other day, she tagged the wrong child. She fell asleep. I heard her boyfriend was in the background making his typical gross, disgusting, drunken, ignorant remarks. Nothing has changed. It has always been about views and numbers for Brittany. That's why she was afraid that Justin or Josh or Nick would have a conversation with me. They wanted a divide. They saw the divide. They got a divide. And then nobody talked about Sebastian. What a damn shame. What an absolute shame. So these are my two big bad streams where I supposedly call, and we went through it. Both things I said were stated by SF, put out with proof by SF. They were not coming from me, and they never made it in the alleged allegations anyway. So said he told 14-year-old babysitter Katie he was going to marry her someday. He sure did. Now, some of the people that called out are doing the same fucking thing. Yep. Why not use a missing child for the sensationalism to push your rhetoric? Yep. The people that surely did that to Sebastian's name are the ones that were really conspiring, and that is proven in that timeline, along with all the other timelines put together. The timelines put together by just saying. The timelines put together by nonsense. People's perspectives change. People's opinions change, but facts don't. Just like Brittany claiming she was never arrested, that she didn't plead. Yes, she did. She absolutely pled. Creators behind the scenes with a parent look no further than BJ and BHB. Right. Granny spoke to Chris Proudfoot. Okay. Seth Rogers was her moderator. Actually, let me pull this up. And these people just fucking lie to lie, man. They truly do.
Seth was ripped apart because they claimed that he had made weird noises on my live stream, which I never agreed that that's what he was doing, because he told me that he was packing some cigarettes or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, they've said that man was inappropriate with women when there was no proof of it.
Absolutely.
Can I point out there were several proofs of it? There were a few searchers that came forward and said that Seth Rogers was inappropriate. Can we not forget about Michaela? The woman whose underwear Seth Rogers kept in a drawer. Let's go back and talk about the bridge ceremony when right there on camera, he makes an inappropriate remark and the woman has to remind him to not be like that. All she cared about was getting the memos on what approved creators could put out. She didn't care if it was accurate information or not. Of course not. Which is why she's going to be held accountable for all of this. Hey, Lynn.
Hey, how's my sound?
It's good.
Oh, good. Okay. Can I also point out that a lot of people came out and also said the same thing about Seth on YouTube, and I've shown that in videos. And I'm also going to point out that the clip that you're about to show of him doing that came out the end of like an hour-long locker talk stream where they were all talking locker talk with each other, with Sebastian's photo on his avatar. And this stream was privated immediately, and I was only able to get it from Nonsense's channel.
Is this the same stream where Seth makes that gross remark about Sebastian waking up from
No, they didn't talk about Sebastian here. They just talked sex talk. They just talked sexual innuendo. That was the thing. like if I'm recalling correctly, they started out like doing light conversation about Sebastian in the case, but it really quickly just delved into just light banter about regular things, and then they got off the topic of Sebastian, and then they kept diving like it.
Right, it just went further into locker room talk.
Yeah, and because Seth is just one of those that you can't do that without, he has to do that.
Right, so every conversation with him goes that way. Do you know the date of this?
It was June 2024. I don't know the exact date. It was like June 24, 2024, but it was in June 2024.
Okay.
So it was 4 months after Sebastian disappeared.
Oh, okay. All right, let's hear it, guys.
I shouldn't talk about this, or I shouldn't talk about that. Somebody's spanking something. And it always...
I'm just spanking something, he says. Everybody listen close.
This, or I shouldn't talk about that. Somebody's spanking something.
I'm just spanking something. Meanwhile, Josh saying I shouldn't talk about this, shouldn't talk about that. Seth says, I'm just spanking something.
And it always... I'm almost there. Leave me alone.
I'm almost there. Leave me alone. Yeah, let's all pretend we don't hear what we fucking heard.
Oh my God. I thought I was getting a slow clap for a second.
The slow clap, you need to go to the hospital.
Now, if this was simply about packing smokes, would he responded with the slow clap, you need to go to the hospital? It was sexual in nature. She knows that. Let's finish it out.
but Brittany, like I know, like sometimes, like I'll.
Brittany, I know. Sometimes I'll like. Yeah. There you have it, folks. Tell us again how he was just packing cigarettes, Brittany.
They know it. They know it. It's such bullshit, and that's what I'm just fucking not going to be gaslit about that. They know it. Anybody who says that was packing cigarettes, they know it.
Right. He was packing cigarettes, sure. But that's not what he wanted the audience to think he was doing. And that was made clear. It was, and she's hysterical laughing. It was extremely inappropriate. His son's 4 months missing. And I remember saying at the time, right now, he's like a celebrity, right? Brittany, we seen in the messages, if I could get Seth on panel, I need to get Seth on panel. All she cared about was getting Seth on panels to bring her views. That's it. That's all. She didn't care about getting out awareness for Sebastian or anything like that. She wanted clicks. She wanted views. I remember telling Seth, there will come a day where you will be nothing more than another chatter in the chat box. And that's exactly where he's found himself.
Yep.
What a disgrace. That timeline video was insane. They're so sick. They're so sick. The things that I'm accused of saying, Lynn, were things I was showing that SF was saying. They never came directly from me.
Yep. Nothing. Most of the things that they accuse people of, specific people of, are rarely from those people.
Right.
Rarely from those people, because they need to pin it on the people they don't like the most.
And that's all you saw in her messages. Granny. I mean, you look. She takes a screenshot of a community post I make within a minute of making it, and there at the top you see that the most watched people she has are me, the Hive, and Chloe. Yet I want everybody to remember when she followed that declaration, just a couple weeks after those remarks in private chat, she's put on there how afraid she is of me, how endangered she is by me. How she can't eat, she can't sleep, her kids are afraid, they're cowering in corners, she's missing family outings, but in private messages, she's gunning to make sure that I'm on this radar, that she's not going to do this with me again. This was all personal vendetta, and it makes me sick that because others now have a personal vendetta, they're going to pretend that that's not exactly what it is and what it was. It's fucking gross. I got to grab a vape. Do you mind, Lynn?
No, go ahead. And the other thing I was noticing is that you don't see one mention in that timeline. That was a great timeline. You don't see one mention in that timeline of, wow, this is really taking away from the search for Sebastian. I'm really concerned about how these creators are hampering and interfering with Sebastian's case. I'm very concerned about how Sebastian will be found amongst all this drama. No. It's, oh my gosh, my views are down. Oh my gosh, that person's going on Granny's panel. Oh my gosh, I got to get her. She's a horrible person. We got to get her in this injunction. That we got to get her in this lawsuit. I've been trying to get her for a while. Maybe this is a way to do it. That's what you see. And you know, I was surprised to see how active some of the some of the conversation was in there. I didn't realize how deep in it Boston Elaine was. My goodness. Wow. So vindictive. And I'm sorry, but last night's attempt, have y'all noticed that Brittany has started to use Restream? Last night she started to use Restream because, you know, if she uses Restream, then all of everything that she's been complaining about just goes away. She's going to become a fantastic streamer now. She won't drop off. There won't be any dead air because it's always been StreamYard's fault, right? Well, let's put that to the test, shall we? Shall we put to the test how using Restream is going to just make her an entirely new, wonderful, with it, not dropping, no dead air streamer? Okay. No, now it's all the phone's fault. How dare the phone keep dropping out of her hand? How dare that phone keep dropping out of her hand and losing its place? How dare it? Oh my gosh. So now she has to start printing out the pieces of paper to read. And then what's the excuse going to be? The dog ate the paper. Oh shit. Brittany doesn't have dogs, does she? Well, she's going to have to get a dog.
The rats.
Oh, you're right. The rats ate it. Well, then she'd have to admit to the rats.
Well, don't forget, she I guess that's what maybe that's what happened with her filing that one paper to get out of the RICO.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes, sirree, Red Flats. Yes, sirree. Or yes, Mr. E. I'm sorry. Yes, Mrs. E. I'm sorry. I didn't mean Mrs. E as the person. I'm just trying to have a play on words. I'm sorry. I was just babbling until you got back.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. Sean Marie and One Red Rose. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that people are trying to convince Brittany that the coverage of her now was just a distraction. Well, by who? Who made that distraction? Who was part of that? You know what I mean? Like this idea that and Brittany always finds a way to make herself a victim of something she's not a victim of. Thank God, Lynn, and I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank God I don't depend on fucking social media and these wishy-washy, flippy, floppy fuckers with their opinions for my validation. Because they're a bunch of gaslighting, manipulative, situational outrage, convenience, amnesia, you name it what you will, but it's disingenuous as fuck. Thank God I have a lawyer and a judge's ruling because these people, they will fuck with your head.
Hell yeah.
Sick. Like she's some fucking victim. It makes me sick because like you stated, nowhere in those conversations did you hear, oh my God, this is going to impact the search for Sebastian. Oh my God, this is going to do this. You don't hear that anywhere because that wasn't the concern. The concern was, oh my God, Granny wants to talk to Justin. Granny's going to have Josh on panel. Numbers, views, that's what the fuck it was. And I called that before even seeing that conversation.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Clue, are you married yet?
Oh, yeah. Wedding rings.
Have you been carried over the threshold? You know, you got to do that with the wedding dress on and everything. Yeah. Oh, 3 p.m. their time. Okay. Okie dokie, going to the chapel and we're
Gonna get married.
going
That's exciting.
to the courthouse and we're gonna get married. Okay, sorry.
I mean, for the love, she has no real life friends to help her. Family doesn't associate with her. Heck, she wasn't invited to her own child's graduation. That should tell you something right there. No, I agree. I agree. She wasn't written in the obituary for Craig's father. She puts in this latest filing how she has a live-in boyfriend, yet nobody to take care of her fucking kids. I'd be mortified. And this is the relationship we're all jealous of, folks. Oh, just jealous. Sick though. It's sick that these people are once again, I heard somebody say, oh, well, at least it got people talking about Sebastian again. You can't be for real. You cannot be serious. This isn't the way people need to talk about Sebastian. People were starting to talk about Sebastian because Seth was getting suing and he was going back on panels again based on his lawsuit. Nobody needed to do all of this to get people to talk. It really didn't. And it did no good. And it's gross, but whatever.
No, I mean, the fact is they fell for a scam on the back of a missing child that for a vendetta, for a vendetta that actively harmed the real lives of 2 women. That's what they did.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
And this idea that creators who have similar thoughts in a case, or creators who talk to somebody related to said case, or creators who, redirect to each other are suddenly a RICO. Well, first off, then everybody was part of one. But the Wells case, plenty of people spoke to Don and Candace Wells. The Watts case, people spoke to.
Yeah, let's put that to the test. Remember how Chris McDonough got heavily involved in the Wells case to the point of exposing what Don Wells did to the sisters?
Yep.
And actually trying to get him prosecuted for that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Is that a RICO?
I don't know. Good question. But let's talk about getting involved in the case. And nothing happened to Chris McDonough.
Right.
Right. I'm not saying it was.
We also have the creator that got in the Michael Vaughn case, Monkey Vaughn. The amount of people that talked to the mother in that case or talked to the suspects in that case, are they now all operating under a RICO?
Exactly. Music City. That's a dangerous thing to say, Music City Mama. Just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's just, I think what's unfortunate is that I think a lot of true crime cases, true crime cases bring in new viewers, and the new viewers are lured into believing that true crime creators are serious and they want good for the family and they're here for the facts, and there's the word true in front of it, so it's true crime. And it takes various amounts of time for them to all realize that so many creators are just here for the biggest payoff,
Right.
And it's so fucking disappointing.
Dreama says, did you notice the filing receipt states method was cash? Of course I did, Dreama. It's the first thing we noticed. It's the first thing we pointed out to people that were speaking on it. Yes. Because now Brittany's going to have to explain how she was in Delaware County Courthouse that day to file that, sign it, that it was her, pay the cash to do so, while also claiming she cannot come to PA. That's going to be hard to do. Hey, True Justice.
That was really curious. I was like, cash?
Yep. Ain't that interesting?
Yeah.
Well, she'll have to explain that to the judge. I see. She thought she had a big saving, you know, this was her big Hail Mary. But let me explain something to all of you. In order to argue jurisdiction, you have to do that at the very start of the case. You have 20 days to do that. That has to be raised through timely preliminary objections. And that preliminary objections, you get 20 days after service to do that. She failed to do that. We're now a year later. She now wants to claim all of these things and try to relitigate everything that has already been signed, sealed, delivered. That time expired. Everything she is doing now is nothing more than added on to potential for damages, for punitive damages, and she's just raising her own bill at this point.
Well, let me put this in a school analogy. Okay, it's like turning in your midterm paper during summer vacation,
right?
And you've already failed that grade. Okay, and you go to the teacher and go, okay, here's my midterm paper. Now will you move me on? No, sorry, it's too late. You're still being held back.
Yeah, break that down to high school logic, because that's about where her brain capacity is at. That's exactly right. Yes,
it is. It's like saying, you were told by your teacher your paper is due by X date. You pretend that you don't even know when your paper is due. You don't even show up to fucking class.
And it's been a year.
And it's been a year. And then your parents or somebody that you actually care about says,
right.
Finally it gets to your head that you're not gonna get to the next grade, or you're not gonna graduate or whatever. So you file this very dumb, uneducated paper and you say, okay, graduate me now, put me up to the next level.
I like the parts where she forgot to take out what was clearly ChatGPT written. Up to guy says, hey, Granny, did the Proudfoes have you sign an NDA? No. Do your mods sign NDAs? No. But that's a good point. Brittany did and does. Good point. Who's running an organized enterprise? Who has something to hide? The people that were signing NDAs? Huh. Yeah, I wish Brittany would explain to her audience what she filed. But you know what? What's the point, straight talker? We know she doesn't know what she filed, but secondly, we know she would just lie anyway. Because just like she lied about what happened at truancy court, just like she lied that we didn't win the slap. Do you remember there was that whole debacle over the word accepted and approved when it came to the RO? And they were running around screaming that the RO was accepted and there was now an RO against Barbecue and I. And we were saying, no, there's difference between accepted and approved. It was accepted on the docket. Brittany's filing was accepted on the docket. It wasn't approved to make a difference in the case.
Right. I mean, if you were to believe what she was saying before she filed this, it's a really, really big thing.
Right.
And,
we're working on something so big.
And, reality says, I know civil things and I know how to win cases, and she doesn't owe a thing. So according to them, that's what this is.
What you do is you file. First off, you don't file the first thing. First off, she never entered her appearance as pro se to start. Let's start with that. But you don't file a motion and attach 15, woe is me pages of paragraphs behind it. The courts don't care that you're claiming to not have anybody to watch your kids. Then find somebody or bring them with you. Do you know how many kids were in the courtroom that morning for the hearing we went to? There were tons of kids there. They don't care about your personal woe is me. They don't give a shit. They didn't care about your C-section. They didn't care that you claim you just had one. They're not going to care about this. This is not going to do what she thinks it's going to do. And I think it's cute that she tried now, almost a year to date later.
Yeah. But one thing we can say is that she has finally acknowledged that she needs to deal with this. That's one thing.
Yeah, remember Nick already acknowledged that he sent Brittany an email that she needs to deal with this and that they're not getting involved. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
My favorite part is that she added an exhibit. Let's look at this really quick because she's claiming PA doesn't have jurisdiction over her, yet one of her exhibits, give me just a second to find this. I found this particularly interesting. Where is it?
Mitten Mama, usually what happens is then the opposing attorney responds and then the court responds. That's usually the order of things.
So Exhibit E, she puts on there, jurisdictionally relevant documents concerning the separate RICO injunction matter and Joseph Lasniak's representation only if relied upon. Jurisdictionally relevant documents concerning the separate RICO injunction matter and Joseph Lasniak's representation only if relied upon. How are you going to tell PA they don't have jurisdiction over you while also admitting that you signed to jurisdiction in PA via being a client of Joseph Lasniak, a PA lawyer, and involving yourself in a RICO injunction matter?
Yeah.
Stupid.
No, I pitched the ball into your court, but I don't want it back when you bat it back at me.
Right. Remember, she said it was a soft pitch anyway. Why are you trying to play ball now? We hit the home run. we're at the game's over.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And I haven't watched anything specific to say this. I just know, like, I am absolutely undone by the idea that anybody can be defending her at all. I'm completely undone by it. I'm undone by it.
Well, that's what I mean. It's either disingenuous defending of her, situational defending of her, or just blissful, willful ignorance. But the idea that she thought this was like this big, like the ref's going to call foul and everything's going to reset. It's just impressive to me because it's not. It's not going to do what she thinks it's going to do. And bless her heart in her ChatGPT subscription for making her think it will.
Let me be more specific. I'm undone by anybody who once supported you now defending her and criticizing you.
Oh yeah, the same people that were so excited for me for filing this and told me what a great move it was, and helping me and doing it and giving me advice, now saying that it was abusive process and all of the other things like that.
Literally criticizing you for the things they were doing just months ago.
Well, that's what blows my mind, right? Because we've all heard me publicly state, the coverage on Britney's too much. At some point we got to back it down. I'm the one getting the backlash for it. I wasn't even part of it. I wasn't restreaming her. I wasn't covering, her streams every day. I wasn't doing any of that. But I love the idea that Britney and covering Britney was all a distraction, yet people have stood proud on the fact that they covered Britney before anybody else. So are you the head of the organization that you're trying to this now, disparage? Or does it just simply not fucking exist? Because you can't have both.
Yeah.
Anyway, I heard she was falling asleep again on her stream the other night. Just nodding out and shit. Straight up falling asleep, snoring, all the things.
It's been every night. And last night was absolutely horrifying. It was like it was like a Halloween horrifying movie. She starts out the stream saying, I'm going to be all professional. She had this entire ChatGPT summary of the Lindsay Clancy case that she couldn't get through a quarter of.
Wow.
And without dropping her phone. And
I covered that case before.
Has she? Yes, many times. She's been covering the case. Covering the case. And so, she was going to try to be all professional last night and, be all put together. And she said she's going to turn over a new leaf. And yes, the thing also said she wants to appear via Zoom for future meetings. What future meetings?
Right, meetings. That's what I mean. Like she should have fixed and in one part it says basically get this to my defendant. which shows not only that it was once again written in third party format because it's ChatGPT and somebody's acting like they're like a lawyer. It's just clear that she's an idiot. She's an absolute idiot.
Yeah. So back to last night. So that's what it is for me, is that she doesn't care about these cases. She doesn't care. She's just there to clock time. But she can't fucking stay awake to save anybody's life, including her own. And it was it needs to be, I'm going to keep calling it out until it stops, until she stops doing true crime, or until she improves. Like literally, as I was watching her last night, she's all trying to be professional, and she's like, I'm going to be professional. I'm going to be together. Like I was like, I'm a softie. You guys know that. I'm a softie, and I'm like, oh, good. I want to root for you, Brittany. I want to root for you. And then you just literally immediately start dropping your phone and dropping off. And I'm like, fuck you. These are 3 children who were murdered by their mother, maybe because of psychosis. And you're sitting there talking about very complicated mental issues. Your chat's arguing about, whether this is psychosis or murder, just cold-blooded murder. And you are so in la la land, you can't hold a straight conversation. It's
deplorable. Yeah, it's what she always does. And then has the nerve to talk that about the way I cover Sebastian, I deserve to be thrown into this frivolous lawsuit and everything in between, calling it defamatory. If we went back over and covered every case Brittany has ever covered, I guarantee, including up to recent ones, she has made statements that could be considered defamatory or deplorable. Let's start with Craig saying, well, why would the Turbans lock their kids up, tie them up in a basement, if not to have fun?
Yep. Go down,
raping them.
Go down and have fun molesting them. That's what he said.
Yeah, we'll start with that. Hey, small town.
Hey, everyone. I can't stay up too late. I'm losing my voice. I don't know what's happening. But anyways, talking about last night, if you get a chance during her stream, like hours into it, she finally pulls up like her YouTube, and it shows, it's like all of Lindsay Clancy's stuff. Like I think it's Court TV, and like all of the thumbnails are like Lindsay Clancy related, her children, all of that. But if you look at her, the bottom of her screen that constantly, goes through, while the victim's pictures are up, her screen says, welcome to the world of lit liquors and cootie queens.
Yes, that was her ticker. That's the other thing I was going to point out. That was her ticker. Cootie queens.
Is that the real reality in here?
I don't know.
And if it is, you don't attack her. I'm just curious if that's really reality.
There's been a reality account going around. I don't know if it's real.
That would be interesting, but I don't know either.
But yeah, so I just wanted to just point that out because you were talking about, her stream last night. And, again, this is like night 4 in a row that she's tried to do what she considers a true crime case and cannot stay awake at all.
Right.
But it's also very telling. Like I said, the victim's pictures are all on these thumbnails on her screen, and it literally says, welcome to the world of lit liquors and cootie queens. That's how professional BJ is.
Why is she saying cootie queens and lit liquor?
I have no idea.
Now she's taken on the identity of her new friend Jay.
Yeah.
Weird.
So weird. Also, a couple of accounts came in and said, you're falling asleep. Please stop it. Actually, a person that I recognized went in there. I can't think of who it was right now. I don't remember, but they went in there and said, please, please shut this down. You're falling asleep. It is so disrespectful. And it was obvious she was falling asleep. She had dropped her phone several times. And her mods were like, she's not falling asleep. She's just looking at her notes.
Well, and also you could tell, like at the beginning, when Craig was in the room, every time BJ nods off, Craig coughs real loud. And as soon as he coughs, she says, let me see. Let me see. Okay. Like,
Yep.
it's so obvious, you know, and it's like, you come on here and flex, try to flex on everybody. You talk about their looks, you talk about people being jealous. You're racist, bigoted idiot in the background got your channel demonetized for the F slur before, and that's why you had to immediately delete your stream the other night, the night that you tried to do 4 lives in a row, because your idiot drunk in the background is saying racist, bigoted shit in the background. Disgusting.
Yeah, did you hear that, Granny, when he said that the flood in Nepal happened because they worship false gods?
I heard he said. I didn't actually hear it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what you get when you worship false gods. Hey, don't blame me for being white. That's what he said.
Yeah, yeah. Like, exactly. Like, talked about white, like how he's, white people, BJ, like professional white people. I mean, God, like, and Jay, I just really want to say, like, I hope, like, you are so proud because you were the one that wanted BJ to go to Restream because you think if she's on Restream, she can kick accounts that are streaming BJ at the same time.
Oh, good luck to that.
Right. But yeah, Craig says it in the background the other night, and Jay is in chat going, yep, that's correct. Like, how embarrassing.
So if some natural disaster hits down on literally their county and their house gets wiped out, we should say, that's what you get. That's what you get when you blah, 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 when you're a white guy.
Yeah, he's gross. He's a gross person, but so is Brittany. That's why she's been with him all these years. You don't stay with somebody that you're so polar opposite of. She's just like him.
Right. But anyways, I just want to say that I got to jump down, but I'll be in chat. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming up, small town.
I hope you guys have a good day and a good weekend.
You as well.
Bye,
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, that's incredible. That's the riveting true crime that people are tuning in for, and that's the riveting true crime that people are defending. This is what blows my mind. I understand if you no longer like me, Clue, Queen, whatever, you, whoever. I understand that. But to suddenly put your support and back that's where people should wake up and be like, yeah, this is just gross. You're just supporting her to hate bond, and that's crazy.
This is what people are sacrificing their reputations to defend.
Right. That's what I mean. And why?
Yeah.
Because you're hate bonding, because you dislike the same people. Wow. That says a lot about your character. Thank you for the floating heart, Reality. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. Amma says, haha, if BJ and Craig are professional white people, I'm a 6 foot tall supermodel. Thank you, Amma. Never say never. Thank you for the hype.
That's funny.
I mean, that is, yeah, they're willing to throw Sebastian Stegny under the bus for hate, jealousy. I agree. It's very sad, very unfortunate. I bet this Reality is Nick or cohorts. Well, I don't really care. Username doesn't. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. She repeats sentences over and over and over. Well, and like pointed out, every time she wakes up is hold on or let me see. It's so obvious. And the worst part is this is somebody who just went to court for a criminal charge for truancy, for not getting her kids to school, and yet they're up again at 2:30 a.m. on a Thursday into Friday morning because YouTube is more important.
She pled guilty. She's convicted. Right. Yeah.
And lied to everybody that she didn't plead guilty, that she doesn't have to pay any money, she doesn't have to go back, nothing. They just let her go. I mean, why lie about that knowing people can see the truth? It's crazy. I'll never understand it. This girl just lies to lie. At some point, she has to recognize just telling the truth is better. Just admit it. Yeah, guys, I took a no contest and they put me on a probationary period. And, so my plea right now is guilty. But if in 6 months I do everything they say, then, but no, instead she has to lie.
And after she sues you and loses, and sues Clue and Cletus and loses, and, and then you all get kick accounts. She probably is responsible for people losing their YouTube channels. Some people start their kick accounts. Then she follows and starts her kick account. And yet she calls everybody else stalkers.
Right. And did you notice even in those private chats, you have her stalking where I'm commenting, what my community posts are, what I'm hashtagging, what I'm discussing. Why are you watching my every damn move?
Yeah.
That's why I said to people, don't even follow her on Kick. Don't even give her the pleasure of even being platformed on Kick. All the shit she talked about Kick and the reason anybody had to go to Kick, and now she has the nerve to watch herself over there because she thinks she's going to, build something there or make money there or whatever it may be. Get out of here.
Or strike people.
Strike people, right. I see you, Jaco. But yet this whole time, that wasn't her goal. And these people stood against channels being removed. And oh my, how the miss have fell. I agree, Joe Madre. Lie first is her way of life. She won't stop until she gets serious repercussions. And I'm sorry, I'm going to give them to her. I love the idea that now all of a sudden I'm the litigious one and she's a victim of mine when it comes to litigation. And what deluded fucking world. Fucking gross. She doesn't only want to go to Kick so she can strike people. She wants to go to Kick because she wants to be where everybody else is and she wants to make money. Her excuse is that she just wants to strike people. Come on. You don't think she'll apply for the monetization over there?
People are posting. Oh, I thought they said Cletus's ex. I was like, okay, sorry. I misread that.
She has to feel some accountability or she'll continue. She never feels accountability because she always pushes it off. Like this judgment, she's a victim of. The RICO, she's a victim of. Don't forget, she said that Nick and Lesniak and all them lied to her. That's what I mean, Poetic Justice. Don't even follow any of them. Don't even help them. Everybody's put over here. What, they all going to come over here and start ganging up on everybody just like they did on YouTube to get you all kicked off Kick? Don't put it past him, Granny. They moved like a RICO. They are the RICO. No, I mean, I agree, Saudi Mamas. I agree.
She goes around teaching Darvo as if she's the Darvo victim, right?
Right.
When she's the aggressor. She is the active aggressor.
She should be studied on
yes.
You know what I mean? Because there is something to be studied there, I'll tell you.
For sure.
Hey, Ruby. Well, she needs, right.
What I believe is that.
Look, even Angela said, I kept asking her, who told her to send a C&D to you while she's still in litigation with you? And she blamed Rancher. So, I mean, she blamed the police officers for what was in the police report. She blamed the clerk for why she missed court. She blames everybody but herself. And that's where the problem lies. Even after the court hearing, she came back saying, I'm still do me. Yeah, that's the problem. You've always done you. You've never done anything with your children in the forefront, in my opinion. And that's exactly what the issue is.
Yes, that's true, everybody. It is Davos. Here's what I believe. I believe that Brittany, it was just Brittany's second nature was to do that. And she was so amazed that it actually had a description, a psychological description, that she just like had to learn it. She's just so amazed by it that she had to start talking about it. And it's actually just a description of life for her, not like a warning sign. You know what I mean?
No, not really. What do you mean? I don't know. I tuned out a little bit because I was reading comments, but I didn't grasp what you're saying.
Okay, Darvo, Darvo.
Oh, right.
For her, it was just how she operated naturally. It was just second nature for her to do Darvo all the time, all day, every day.
Right.
So then when she learned that it actually had a description in the psychology world, she was like, oh my God, that's what I've been doing. I got to now tell people it's a thing so they don't realize it's what I've been doing.
It's a thing I'm doing. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree with that. That is the truth. And what's crazy is people that have experienced Brittany have now said the same thing. Like, this girl will poke, and then cry victim. I don't care what they're saying now. That's what they were saying then. I love that too, that others can change their whole perspectives on everything. But oh no, let's talk about the fact that Granny knew AS wrote these letters back then. I didn't know everything I know. Am I not allowed to change my point of view like everybody else did? These people are crazy. Do you, Michelle Porter? I think she's emotionally and mentally stunted, and that's about it. Yeah, I guess I thought better of people. I thought at minimum they wouldn't like deny what, like, they used to judge people that would deny what they're seeing and hearing when it comes to Brittany, and like be like, there's no way you don't see it. There's no way you don't know it. And now they're one of those people, and it's crazy to me.
The switch they made, the analogy I have in my mind is like going from Antifa to MAGA or vice versa, in one fell swoop in one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of a flip switch.
Such a flip. Yeah.
It's like I've gone from being LDS to Satanist. It's like that kind of a flip.
Isn't it? It truly is something. And I love this. Oh my gosh, I'm so angry thinking about it all over again. Just seeing all those chats, right? Wait, Granny and her panel guests talking to Craig, thinking he can actually hear them. Granny and her panel guests talking to Craig. Yeah, they're all they're like, woohoo. That's why they all congregate at night, because the nurses are all sleeping and they can finally sneak out their phones and, but we're going through those messages again with Angela. First off, like I said, Angela, I'd love if you would search how many times Brittany said my name in private. I would absolutely fall over to see how many times she said my name in private, because it sounds like she just woke up thinking about me, went to bed thinking about me. Reading them all over again and then pulling up these videos. Were you here earlier when I did that, Lynn?
Which ones? Yes. You mean the ones where
I supposedly called him a yes. groomer, an SA'er?
Yep.
That, if you notice, what's actually happening during that stream is that Ben George is there talking with us. Yep. That's what bothered Brittany. It wasn't the topic I was having. It was that Ben George was there. Goody, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Lady Luckin, for smashing that thumbs up. And when I go over to the stream and I type in the words, groomer or SA, it's clear that I'm showing something from SF Investigates. And it's not coming. I even say possibly or potentially, whatever.
Yep.
And again, none of this was ever there.
In the law, that is crucial. The word potentially said there. And
right.
and because that's what you said, and you were speaking on top of what SF said, where he did not say potentially, right? He was just straight up saying this guy is a whatever, right? So it's crucial. In the law is very precise in many ways, not in every way. But anyway, the words can be very precise.
Right. And not only that, but you had JLR and SF who straight up called him a what on X and said, sue me. And yet they weren't sued. So even if people want to claim that I made that statement, and that's what put me in this quote unquote non-existent RICO, Well, then why the fuck wasn't the people that actually blatantly said it? Because remember, it wasn't put under defamation, and there was no direct quote of me saying these things. And even when Brittany keeps saying that I said that, oh, Sebastian S8 his sister, I never fucking said that. Those words never came out of my fucking mouth.
Yeah.
They never did. The one thing I said is when people are saying, well, why would Seth say Chris didn't want Sebastian around his daughter? I said he probably did something. That could mean an arraignment of things. That could mean aggressive. That could mean, it doesn't mean SA. And the fact that these people's minds went there tell me something, you know what I mean? Tells me far more about them than it does me. How dare you put that on me? And how dare you put that on him? And then in the last few days, what came out? Has anybody fucking apologized, or are you still defaming me? You want to talk about defamation?
No, in fact, they like Brittany still insists that you did this.
I know, but she won't show it. She won't play it.
Yep. Even after losing this suit. And reality wins. I think that's great that your caretakers care about you that much. I think that's wonderful.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
If I could find that original clip where I made that statement, boy, would I ever. Would I ever? Because that is not what happened. And then I was held to the fire on all these panels. Did you say this? That it did. I explained myself over and over. These people concluded to what they wanted to conclude to. You know why? Because they heard everything we heard. That's why. Fucking gross. But that was the real issue. Ben George being on panel. And I'm pretty sure in this panel, her other mod came up at the time. Yeah, JLR made a whole song. Oh, what do you know? This panel is also about the RO. Here's SF on there. But doesn't her other mod, Sarah, come up here too? Here's Ben George.
For all of his savagery, JLR knows his way around how to word things in the law. He does.
Well, that one, he straight up said, I'm calling you this. Sue me.
Well, because he knew he had information, that could back him up if he got sued.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Here's where Sarah comes up. Let's see what Brittany's real issue was that day. Is Sarah still with her? I don't even know who these people are. I think her name's Sarah.
From Philly is an adaptive accent that fails terribly.
It's from Northern Ireland. You can tell.
What is disgusting, Sarah? What part of this do you find to be disgusting?
The part that I find disgusting is that you're saying that Ben pays people for Brittany to come at you.
Yeah, somebody has a bad echo. It's you, Pearl. I that's not what I said. I didn't say Ben pays Brittany to go at me. I said every time Brittany's going at me, Ben is supporting that, rather that be through super chat or memberships. And Ben himself acknowledged it. So how is that disgusting? If Ben himself just said, yeah, I can be an ass, I can be a troll. He acknowledged
he's always doing memberships no matter what she's talking about. Nothing personal to you.
Well, it feels personal to me.
He owes you nothing, even if he did do that.
Was she drunk on the panel? Oh, she left. Okay. Not Lynn left. I'm saying Sarah left BJ. Okay. But this was BJ's real problem here. Because this conversation is a stream. I started off talking about Sebastian Rogers, Seth, the stuff that SF was pointing out. But of course, it went down to Brittany. Because it always fucking does. But this is why Brittany was upset. It had nothing to do with what I said, what I allegedly said, what I didn't. It had everything to do with Ben George and Sarah coming up on panel and having a half decent conversation. It's actually defamatory for them to keep saying I said these things that I didn't say. That's what's defamatory. Matter of fact. Let me show you just one more time because it really pisses me off that these people keep lying on my name. Really pisses me off. Sorry if you've already heard it, but I think it's pretty dang important.
I don't even know how all of this came about in the last 3 months.
Last 3 months.
But I've met a lot of wonderful people, and there's about 10 of them I really trust. And
facts, Alabama.
That's all. I like I said, I'm just, I'm naive because, like I said, I've literally been doing all of this for 3 months, and yes, I came in hot with the memberships and the super chats and whatever. I get it,
which is
Trust
fine.
me,
I mean,
it's I'm there, but
but
it's
for me, Ben, you came in hot with those at moments where she was trashing us. That's my problem. You were supporting her theory.
Well, everyone's if we're all being honest, we're all trashing each other.
So. I don't trash Brittany. Again, when's the last time you heard me speak on her? When I acknowledged her after she lied about me speaking to Chris Proudfoot? Other than that, when's the last time any of you can tell me I've acknowledged Brittany?
Good question,
I'll
isn't
wait.
it?
And then tell me when's the last time she acknowledged me. Last night, the night before. But she's just a victim who wants it to stop. Let's not forget, months back, Brittany claimed she reached out to bullying organizations and needed an attorney to seek legal action against me. But she still can't get my name out of her mouth. And that's the problem I have.
And to
so respectfully, no.
Oh my God, I've been saying the same shit from 22 to 23 to 24, all the way to current time of 26. Ain't this something? Holy shit.
People in here are not paying me to trash Brittany. And honestly, if I did trash Brittany, I'd make a hell of a lot more money because there's a lot of people that can't stand her.
Boom. That's why they started trashing her, ain't it?
So you're saying you're tired of the drama. You, sir, have paid for the drama. You have financially supported the drama. So I find it a little rich for you to come over here talking about drama and how it's going to help Sebastian when his photo's not my thumbnail. His name's not.
I'm not talking about your drama. I'm not talking about Brittany's drama. I'm talking about everyone's drama. Everyone, stop.
Well, that I agree with, but again, he's not.
That's my point. Is everyone stop, including Brittany.
I don't feel like pointing out that Rogers is potentially a groomer and a child SAer. I don't find that to be drama. I find that to be a very serious topic.
Potentially,
yeah, because she was talking about me, shall see. Because Brittany spoke about me that night. And I'm tired of Brittany poking. And
wait,
then
you're calling Seth. What did you just say about Seth?
I said that the potential that Seth is a child groomer and SA is important.
Potential. Is there proof?
You know what? If we go by the age and what Seth has said, I feel like there's significant proof.
Are you going to discuss Seth getting a girl under 15 pregnant who's 22? This is what I put on the screen at that point to say, hey, here's where it's coming from. So again, where was that in the litigation? It wasn't. And are you telling me, are they admitting, Lynn, that the only reason this quote unquote private intelligence group came around was to clean up Seth Rogers' image and not actually for the benefit of finding Sebastian Rogers?
Yes, and Seth admitted that too.
Did he?
He did.
What? Tell me more.
He said Tony wasn't there for him, for Sebastian. He was there for Seth. And wasn't Tony the one that roped in at night?
Oh, I believe so.
Yeah.
My understanding is Nick came around and he made a post that thanks to JLR's persistence covering this case, they're now going to get involved. My understanding is Nick reached out to JLR and JLR said, whatever you do, don't get involved and pick a side with the families. They're sus all around. He then reached out to both sets of parents. He reached out to Katie and Chris and he reached out to Seth and Tony. Katie and Chris said, we have no interest in whatever you have going on. On the other hand, though, Tony, as soon as he heard Dog the Bounty Hunter on the phone, his ears perked up and he got interested. Tony himself admitted that on a panel. He said when Dog called him, what was the quote? Oh, Dog said, do you understand that if your buddy's guilty, you're going down with him or something like that? And then they make him like swear under oath or something silly that they have no.
They basically, when they first called Seth, they made Seth believe that Dog thought he was guilty, and they put him to the they put him to the test.
Oh, will you take a lie detector? Is what they said.
Something like that. Yeah.
And that,
would you take a lie detector?
Yeah. And that if your buddy's guilty, do you realize you're going down with them for covering up or something like that? Yeah.
Yep.
Very interesting. So that's how they came about, because their chasing of the fugitive was done. and they needed something else to latch onto. And because at the time they were somewhat in cahoots with JLR, they followed his lead.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the first things he said is Nick saying, power recognizes power. And then he made the statement, I have the power to get you in the Me Too movement, and I have the power to take you out.
And on his current X profile, he styles himself as a former fixer for the National Enquirer.
Right. Fixer upper.
Fixer. Wait a minute. Fixer?
And then even Nick said that. Mr. E said Nick is a cleanup crew.
Uh-huh.
They didn't do too well, though. Rhonda, thank you so much for the gifted. Ismac, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, guys. Yeah, the truth serum, that was one of their biggest things, is that they were going to hypnotize and give truth serum.
Yep.
And we were all like, that's ridiculous. They don't have the power to freaking do that.
I think that's one of the things that SF pointed out about the truth serum, that you can't do that.
I think a lot of these people forget the origins of all of this. And there's so many interpersonal relationships and personal dramas that people are trying to intermingle into this missing child's case that really has no relevancy. It's almost like people have lost the ability to compartmentalize YouTube from the real world. And it's actually really, really gross.
It is. It's really weird. And I find it super interesting that this, at night, fly by night, at night agency, right? They come out big and bold and they're like, we're going to be here until the end. And we only take clients if they can afford a $1.5 million budget up to $5 million, blah, 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 blah. Now you can barely find them. And yet they have a 501c3 designation from the IRS, but they won't give you financial details, and they haven't filed their paperwork with the IRS for their financials. Why is that?
Well, and they also silenced everybody too.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, this is also nope. There's so much I can say, but I think everybody ultimately knows the truth of it all. It was all fantastical. It was all fantasy. It was all for public, for the public to salvage, just salvage up and put it how and what they wanted to, with zero regard for the truth or the facts. It was a cleanup mission, which is why they had to silence everybody who could see through that, because that was damaging the ultimate grift, in my opinion. Maria, thank you so much for membership, and Grammy H. You guys, thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm not suggesting that you actually show this, but did you see Bullhorn, what she was saying yesterday about you?
No, I heard it was pretty nasty, though.
It was disgusting. Yeah. It was really, really disgusting.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it or listened, but I heard it was pretty defamatory for somebody who's already in active litigation with me.
Very. And it's telling too. What she's basically doing is massive projection.
Oh, really?
Well, remember what she was in litigation with Queen for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was alluded that she might have slept with somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
And she was like, no, I didn't. Well, she actually did.
Right.
Well, now she's making you into the, into the Krama whore, basically.
What? Who is she saying I slept with?
No, nobody specifically, but she's saying that you're the ocean of, if Jay is the Cooter Lake, then you're the ocean.
Oh,
yeah.
Good on me. Get it, girl.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You ain't catching me on my knees behind a Chili's, baby. Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's very interesting.
I think she's trying to imply that it was with Chris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's her implication. Yeah.
Why? Because she did it with Seth?
Probably.
Okay.
Because she's pregnant with Seth's baby.
So we got to go through depositions for that one to come out, Betty?
Yeah.
Fucking trash bag. Let's Let's remember this. At Night is aware that Christopher Proudfoot, the stepfather of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and husband Katie Proudfoot, appeared on a YouTube panel where he made several false claims. One notably false assertion was that Dog the Bounty Hunter did not attempt to contact him, which is demonstrably untrue. Additionally, Mr. Proudfoot expressed an interest in collaborating with Mr. Rogers. He goes on to say that they are central in this association. I mean, if we got to go back to day one of how this all originated for people to stop lying that this was anything more than a bunch of rejects seeking publicity off a missing child, we will do that. You're not going to put me in some wild, crazy conspiracy because your brain needs to make the most extravagant claims you can so you can get a few clicks and views. We're not going to do that.
That's the other thing that had me so undone about the shit that was going down last week is the intense tragedy pimping again on Sebastian.
Yeah, with zero regard for the damage they are doing. All based and everything that certain people stood against too. That's what was wild for me.
That I was absolutely like I could barely speak. I was so fucking undone by that. I couldn't believe it.
And what really got to me too was this idea that anything was ever anything more than what it simply was face value.
Yeah.
Because you know better. And it's like, yeah, that was still the essentially that's what you needed to get a few clicks and views for you. Congratulations. Hope you're proud.
Yeah. And I'm going back and seeing that with that it's a pattern. It's been a pattern for years and years. For Jay.
That's what I've gathered too.
Oh yeah. Using little details from actual true crime cases and weaponizing them in petty power play drama on YouTube. And it's fucking disgusting. It's really fucking disgusting.
Yep, absolutely agree. I was looking for this particular clip. I think I may have found it. If I have to spend 12 hours a day going over my old live streams to prove that I was very through the middle throughout all of it, I'll do that too. Everything I ever stated regarding Seth Rogers was based on his public words on public platforms and the things that he put out there. I didn't make shit up. I didn't take anything from any private conversation and make my own conclusion off of it. It was strictly based off Seth Rogers' public words, and I offered the same criticism when it came to Chris Proudfoot. This idea that like I was in the middle of this big divide and I did this and I did that, bullshit. I was one of the very few people that said there shouldn't be an us versus them. This should be about a missing child. And boy, would I do differently going forward. Talk about lesson learned. I will never.
Yep. All of those reasons is why I've never gotten directly involved with families. Yeah.
Well, I heard he changed a lot of his storyline, which he did. The one thing I heard was the Proudfoots always made Sebastian out to be like completely handicapped by being autistic. I never felt that way based from what they were saying, ever.
Yeah, me neither. I actually felt the opposite. I actually felt like it was Betty who made him seem like he was a 5-year-old child.
Yeah, she literally did.
She did, and then yeah.
It's all terribly gross, but you know what? This is something, like I said, thank God I don't depend on YouTube to validate me and my experiences. And this is something that's going to stick with all these people. Oh, so maybe I'm pregnant. Maybe I took Plan B. Maybe I'm in some huge orgy. Ooh, okay, Betty.
The way these people fucking think, man.
And this is where people go to get like their true crime. This is where people go to get like logical answers to anything. These are the same women that believe that there was a private intelligence group. You know what I mean? These are the same people that signed their names on a dotted line. Pretty crazy. Betty's big defamation was I called her a tragedy pimp.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. You know, as I was reading this last filing that Brittany filed, I kept thinking, okay, Brittany, explain that last first. Read to me that last paragraph.
That's what Straight Talker keeps saying. Brittany, explain to your audience what you filed, because we know she can't.
Yeah, explain what a writ of you know, like
writ of execution.
Writ of execution is. Explain that, read that last paragraph without repeating or dropping off or dropping your phone, and then explain exactly what it means. Explain it.
I would love for her to explain what all of this means.
Explain it. Yeah.
I bet she'd have a hard time doing so.
Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll read it as if I'm her. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do it. I couldn't hack it. I just couldn't.
I haven't read it all.
I have read most of it, and it's.
What points stood out to you? I mean, obviously, I knew the signature, the paying in cash, just the basics. I heard that she stated she has a live-in boyfriend, but then also stated she has nobody to care for the children. But I didn't actually sit down and read the gibberish.
What stood out to me is that she wants a detailed accounting of your lawyer's bills that were already approved and verified by the court and are already on the docket.
Yeah, they're already on the docket. I've seen others say that, and I'm like, yeah, it's on the docket, goofy.
She's asking for things that have already been provided. That, like, I feel like if I were the judge, I'd be like, check, it's already there. Check, it's already there. Check, you didn't look at the docket. You didn't see that on the docket. That's, if I was the judge, that's what I would be saying, you know. Sorry, don't care that you have apparently a deadbeat boyfriend. What is your boyfriend paralyzed from the waist down or from the neck down?
Right.
And he can't help with your children. He's completely incapable. Oh, does he work 24 hours, 7 days a week, and he can't provide any caregiving for your children, so you can't travel? What is it that other parents do when when their family, you know, when there's two parents and one of them travels? It's fucking ridiculous. So that's one thing that stood out to me. What else? It literally just looked to me like she was trying to get information to try to prove that you are scamming.
Right. When she was already deemed dishonest conduct.
And the other thing that stood out to me is that the only reason she's doing this is because other people are implicated, and she's freaking out about that. So she's like, these people, none of them did anything. Craig Black is not my husband. We only share a roof. We don't do anything else. We don't share finances. None. And then the other two people, you know, just please take them off.
Well, and then what we'll do is when we respond, we'll attach those same people that she's claiming have nothing to do with it, openly admitting to helping her to hide money or avoid payment, or making statements such as, she's not giving Granny a penny.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know how to do this. I know how to do civil litigation. She's not getting a penny.
Right. Yeah. Let me pull this up, because the idea that he didn't. Thank you, Roberta. Hold on. Let me ask you in the back really quick for a second. Yeah, you don't get to argue for garnishes. So that's all of this time has expired, is basically what I'm saying. But everything was already put in there. Not only did my lawyer put in his billing and everything, but also he had and you have to, in civil cases, you have to have a signature from another lawyer that looks over your billing and agrees it's appropriate. And that was all put on there. So I'm trying to pull this up so I can show you guys. Give me 1 second. It's once again a matter of them not looking at a docket, or better yet, not appearing for your own court hearing. Because had you appeared, you wouldn't have to question if something was there or if it wasn't. She can't travel for court yet. Somehow gets filed in person with a cash payment. Exactly. Why isn't this coming up for me? Hold on, I'm having to email it to myself because I don't know why this is not pulling up for me. He went above and beyond to make sure he covered his arse so that this can't happen. She definitely doesn't want, right. Well, listen, I get it. I'm not even going to judge that, because unlike these people make me out to be, I am human, and I get it. Interrogatories suck. Nobody wants to be, under a microscope like that and share that all that information with somebody. But at the same time, you made your bed, now lie in it. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You thought you were just going to ignore all of this and get away with it? It's ridiculous. All right, let me pull it up. Okay. Not only that, but since I don't know if I should say it out loud. Let me record.
Is Ray distancing herself? Last night she was trying to get onto Restream, but she couldn't. It wasn't working, or so she said.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't working. She just doesn't want to learn to work a new program. All right, so here we have it. Exhibit D. Again, if she would have showed up to court, she would have seen all of this. Okay. Itemized receipts Brittany's asking for. They're right here, my friends. Does this look itemized to you? This is on the docket. Woodstock with the 23 months. One's in the chat if we see it. Brittany was served this entire filing. She has all of this. This is Exhibit D on the court docket. Okay. Does this look like itemized receipt? Sure does. What was the other thing she argued wasn't there? Over here is the whole his filing requesting attorney fees, motion for attorney fees, how, what, why, and when. And then I want to point this out. Number 4, since no answer otherwise was filed within the 20 days required to do so under Pennsylvania Rules of Civil Procedure, the undersigned sent a notice of Prespy to enter default judgment. The notice of Prespy to enter default judgment was served via personal service October 27, 2025. An affidavit of service was contained the proof. So again, this was October 27th, 2025. She's trying to argue it in 2026, September. No, it's no, I don't know why people think that. It's not true. Probably. That's probably what she did, but so there you have it, folks. Everything she's trying to argue now is actually on the docket. So that argument becomes mute. All these people saying shit about talking her kids' stuff, but BJ didn't even care enough about her kids' stuff to respond. Why are you supposed to care about her kids more than she does? How am I taking her kids' stuff? I'm not taking her kids' stuff. She has the choice to either pay the monies or have the sheriff do a sheriff's sale. That has nothing to do with me. Were my kids taken in consideration when she was frivolously suing me? Of course not. Why would I have to give a shit? It's a weak attempt to try to stop a moving train that she can't stop. Period. End of. And all she does and all she did now is walk herself into damages and more trouble.
You will still get the failing grade. Sorry.
Right. That's up to her. If she wants her kids' belongings sold to pay off her debt, that's a choice she's making. That has nothing to do with me. So sick of these people using their children for everything. Stop using your children as a shield.
Yep.
Maybe you shouldn't have gotten yourself into these predicaments and you want to find yourself here. It's not my fault you did this.
Yep, that's right, Texas Blue Eyes.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it out loud because obviously she's going to try to change it, but it sure does. It sure does. And we already attached it. So she can try to change it now. We got the date. We got the screen recording. We got the proof. Her about section says that she is married. That's exactly what I was talking to Lynn about when I said, let me ask.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have no labels here. I'm just a girl in GA who loves my husband and kids. My goal here is to incorporate lots of true crime with a touch of current events, add a pinch of real life conversations, mix it all together with some truly amazing, down to earth people, and voila, the results are fabulous. So are you lying publicly to your people or are you lying to the courts? And I don't care who you're lying to yourself at the end of the day. This is absolutely fictitious attempt at, again, abusing the courts and prolonging the inevitable. It's what they're good at doing. And, we're on top of it. So best of luck to you, Toots.
Well, never say never. It's hard to tell because according to some places, she's married. According to her court papers, she's not married.
Right.
What are we to believe? We can't believe anything.
What I can believe, though, is the very obvious clip I have of Brittany pulling up Campbell's Soup site, of Brittany admitting her and Craig share finances, of Brittany bitching about that woman giving Queen allegedly $20K, and Brittany covers up Craig calling her an idiot. And Craig goes, I wouldn't even give you $20K. And Brittany's like, Craig. And he's like, oh, that's not true. You have my credit card in your pocket. And I have over $25,000 in my bank account.
And your money's my money.
And your money's my money. So we have all of that. So
yep.
Answer the interrogatories. You know what I'm saying?
Or cut a check.
Cut a check. Right. If you don't want your kids' belongings taken, then do what you got to do. I didn't put you in this position.
Yeah.
Nobody to blame but herself. I'm so tired of these people wanting everybody else to feel bad for what the fuck? What about my kids and what we've been through the past 2 years? What about all the losses they had to take? How nice your kids are able to get the latest Switch and an OLED TV and a PlayStation 5 to play one video game. Fuck you.
Granny couldn't get a Pyrex because she had to pay her lawyer. Right?
Right.
Right.
I didn't get to turn around and go buying all the latest phones, electronics at Best Buy, run and buy all this new clothing and brag to everybody all the finance, all the money they were spending while asking for money. Fucking crazy. She don't even have to borrow $10K. She can make a payment plan. I'm not taking from her kids. She's making that choice. She can decide to do what's right, pay the debt for what she's done, and do better. But if not, then, the sheriff does what the sheriff does. It ain't my fault. You make that. Brittany is a full-ass grown woman. She's like a 39-year-old woman, alleged married, non-married, black, non-black, Jackson, non-Jackson woman with 6 kids. She can decide to do what she needs to do to pay this without putting it all on her children. It is not my responsibility that she keeps falling back and shielding herself in life by using those children. I'm taking food out of their mouths. I'm taking their toys. Shut up. You did that.
She's willing to supposedly take credit out for all those electronics she bought miraculously right around when she took in collections for a fundraiser, for a legal fundraiser, but she's not willing to get into a payment plan for litigation that she initiated and then lost.
Right. Right. You did this. You took from your kids, not me. It's so gross. I've never heard somebody constantly using their kids and then saying, leave my kids alone. Leave my kids alone. I remember she was demonetized because Craig used the F slur. She said back then that Craig said we're taking food out of his autistic kid's mouth. The man who doesn't work to put food on the table had the nerve to say that.
Last night, the night before.
Good question, Butter.
He was absolutely obliterated. He even admitted it. He was like, the screwdriver got to me. Right?
Screwdrivers on a weeknight.
Yeah. Yeah. The screwdriver got to me. And then apparently after he said way too many things, she mutes, clearly yells at him. They come back, and in the background, he's like, words, you Karens, you don't like words.
Now it's just words. The same thing she ran to a court to cry over.
Yeah. But
Butter Crimpet has a good point. So she's accepting she owes now? I thought you don't owe me shit. How am I taking food out of your kid's mouth or toys from them?
Yep.
He said it, Angela. Craig said he's a co-owner of her channel. Did he not? I'm pretty sure we have the clip.
Well, and didn't he call, like, as if he's like the CEO of the channel? Didn't he call a mod meeting?
Right. Didn't he have you all in a mod call?
I mean, literally, that was probably the most power he ever had in his entire life.
Feeling dominant over a bunch of freaking women over a mod chat.
Bunch of rankly Karens. He's like, come on, rankly Karens. We're going to organize here to take some channels down. Yeah.
As Jay once pointed out, he likes the granny porn. ChatGPT will never outdo a real live attorney. Facts, One Red. Facts. ChatGPT is based around what you want it to say. It is based around your position and making you feel good. Yeah, I heard he keeps saying that he said the word too nice ago. He was racist. He did all the things, of course. That's who they are. And meanwhile, she wants to point her little grubby, dirty fingernails at other people and call them racist or this or that. Okay.
Yeah,
and this is what people are back in. Situational hate.
Amy O'Behave, he said that the people in Nepal, they deserve that flood because they worship false gods, and don't blame him because he's a white guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's keep defending those people. Don't. What? But she's just a distraction, right?
Yeah, she's just a distraction because everybody knew she was center herself in a missing child's case and join on to this frivolous litigation.
Because we told the child to come in and say, the baby fell. We told Craig to say the F slur. We told Craig to be a racist bigot. We told Craig to be a drunken idiot in the background. We are the ones creating that distraction, right? Fuck all the way off.
Remember, he said Sebastian destroyed his life. Freaking gross.
By the way, what happened to all the hair follicle testing she was going to get done? Remember
Oh, she said she already had it done and then said she was looking and passed. Then said she was looking for a place that does them.
Yeah. No, she said that she was surprise tested by CPS because they got called again and they were accused of all kinds of horrible salacious things. So she immediately passed that test and they were totally cleared of all of those charges and everything. But she's still going to take it upon herself to get a hair follicle test. And even if they don't have a kratom part of it, that she's going to find one that has kratom part of it and she's going to get that test and she's going to publish it. And that was like a month or 6 weeks ago. Where is it?
Oh, where is it? That's a good question. Where is it? Just like we're not going to hear the baby, but we heard her the day she came home. Jess, you will never be the butt of any of my jokes. So what do you call a singing goat that lives by the sea? Billy Ocean. Thank you, James.
Cute.
Oh, Straight Talker is probably the most views she's gotten in a long time. That wackadoodle. That call he did in Discord was so cringe. He said he's her manager. I mean, in a way, I mean, you know. Kind of like a pimp, right?
He's her manager?
You know, it's hard out here for a pimp. That's the next Christmas Eve song.
Oh my God.
When you gotta get the money for this rent.
Oh my God.
He can't even manage to put together a fucking lawnmower.
Yeah.
Oh,
He can't even
manage to get his kids to school.
Oh
my God.
He can't even manage to mow without threatening to shoot somebody.
That's hysterical.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like I said, that was literally the most power he ever had.
That's interesting that Hong says he delivered it. Meanwhile, he was evading service from Nerdy. But he's getting involved in this. Wonder why. I don't know. Anybody hear a word called corruption?
I'm missing something. What did Hong say he delivered?
He's saying he's the one that filed the paper for Brittany.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's going to work out well for you.
When that was another thing that stuck out with me when I read that her paper.
Well,
it's worded a lot like Nick's pro se papers.
Of course it is. Just like his own attempt to stop execution on him. It reads very similar.
Very similar. Very, yeah.
Yep. I know, oldies. These people just think they're so clever. They just so badly want attention. And this is how they get it, by being frivolous litigants. Congratulations.
It's all stalling tactics.
Right. It's not going to do anything different.
And doesn't that just add to your lawyer bill?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Brittany, do you realize that when a lawyer has to read 19 pages of gibberish, of literal gibberish, that it has no legal standing whatsoever, of a document that was filed, in the summer recess when it should have been turned in during the spring term, that it's going to cost more money that's already been attached to you for the same litigation?
Well, why would she trust the same people she claimed misguided her into this entire RICO injunction to begin with? You got to be goofy.
You allowed the same scammers to scam you into helping you with this?
Right.
What the fuck?
What an idiot.
Yes, so, it's back 19 pages. Yes.
So admitting to forging signatures and, more organized attempts at going at me. That's basically admitting that. organized, they're just admitting themselves to being an organized, corrupt group of people that will continue to abuse our court systems, and that they're all doing it together, which proves our point of why we filed the declaratory judgment to begin with. That's all.
And is that what this public charity does? This
public charity, they're worth $1 million.
Well, that's what they are. They're a public charity. That's what they're listed as. And Hong and Nick and Alexander Swanson are the directors.
Interesting.
Yeah. So is that their public charity? We file frivolous lawsuits for, you know, for our co-plaintiffs
while they nod out.
Yeah.
This is just how badly they want attention. That's all. and I think they think they're slick, but they're not. No, ChatGPT wrote that. They were all involved in it, just like they were. It's very similar to all their filings in the past. They're not slick. It's not nothing we didn't know. We knew immediately where it originated from. It's the same scrivener as the last one. It's obvious, very easy to see. And they're just, you know, just being idiots. I have no idea, Brian Kane. I doubt it, but I don't know.
Doubtful.
It's not even like we needed them to say that. We knew that. But thank you for saying it. Come and knock at my door. Exactly. They're trying to change it. That is anybody other than them. It's them. It's always been them. It's obvious. And it proves, again, it solidifies why the declaratory judgment was signed to begin with.
It has from the start. They started having meetings. Who do we get? Who do we get to file a frivolous lawsuit?
Right.
They start they start a literal witch hunt. A literal witch hunt. And then they execute it based on false claims. They lose.
Hurt feelings.
And then they put, hurt feelings, poopy words on the internet. They lose, and they keep pushing it and stalling it and pushing it and filing more frivolous litigation. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And in my opinion, they keep compromising other people to come onto their side.
Right.
And work with them. A very, very Lana move.
Very,
very Lana-rific. Yeah.
They're all one and the same. They all lie about everything. Right. Acting like we lost. No, we won. That's okay, though. These people live in a deluded world where they try to pretend that they're these upstanding citizens and that they're all by the books, and it's truly a delusion. And you can tell it's a delusion by reading what they write and what they do and what they participate in.
All my opinion, of course. Potentially, maybe, all of those things.
Yeah, the logic's there. We're not so bright moved their headquarters to Plano, Texas. Really?
Oh, wait. They moved from Fort Worth to Plano?
I don't know. I don't know if that's factual or not.
No, they're currently, unless they've moved since yesterday, it's Fort Worth, Texas.
No, it doesn't stop, Lori girl. It continues. It doesn't stop until the judge agrees to stop. Absolutely agreed, Angie. And that's the type of people that these type of frauds back, because they're just like her. Exactly, Amy O'Behave, and we have all of that. Jacqueline, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Yeah, it's like that local gas station that keeps getting busted for having skimmers, so they just change the name every so often. Yeah, I heard that War Eagle, Schmore Eagle, had a whole separate Discord where she would talk shit about Brittany. I mean, I know what her lawyer said to me. I know what her co-plaintiff said on the stand. We have all of that.
If Angela's posts haven't taught us anything, they've taught us that Brittany's mods always know that Brittany is a shitty, horrible true crimer and person.
Yeah.
But they they actively know this, but they still back her up in public until they can't anymore.
That's exactly what it is. Yep. Yeah, I know. Also, BJ showed her emails and showed where Tony messaged her the lawsuit, but she also claimed she had no idea about the lawsuit and that she never covered it. But of course, we showed that. These people lie to lie. That is what they do. They are compulsive, repetitive liars. And they're hurt that they weren't able to dominate and take over a missing child's case, and they all dropped it. They all dropped it. We were silenced, right? We were all threatened. There were 50 does named aside from Barbecue and myself, but they weren't. Why did they all stop covering Sebastian? Why did Brittany stop covering Sebastian? Why did Betty stop? Why did they all stop? Where's Chase and Wine and all these other people? Where's Julie Valente? Where are all these people that were gung-ho that we were ruining their investigation for this missing child, but yet they never had one to begin with? Where are they all at now? Fucking gross. They're all gross.
Yes, Truck You. Actually, S-Dubs didn't want to be up there at all last night.
Why? What happened there?
She just... It's kind of hard to tell why she was up there, but she kept saying she didn't want to be up there.
Then why not the hell get down?
Oh, actually, this wasn't last night. It was the night before. And it was when Craig was being loud and drunk and kept interrupting. And so this was not last night, but the night before. Yeah. And she kept saying, I don't want to be up here, but I think she felt like she needed to be up there to keep Brittany awake and discussing, because also Brittany was literally nodding out every 5 seconds.
What's crazy is that these people know that, and they know that Craig, but Brittany, what Brittany does, and correct me if I'm wrong, Angela, Brittany will acknowledge publicly how her chatters and mods all feel, and that, yeah, Craig, will make excuses for him, but in private, she makes it like she's a victim of Craig's, and that if she speaks up, I mean, we saw what she wrote to Nina, a fellow DV survivor, but I thought that was all fabricated. I thought everybody had that story wrong. I thought it never happened. So she manipulates her moderators into taking pity on her over Craig's actions, and even her subs to some extent. But then comes out and justifies it all with, he's just old school. He's just this. No, he's just a lousy piece of shit human. And that's what all of you people are.
She's threading this very fine needle, right? Where she wants sympathy for how Craig treats her, but she doesn't want any backlash for Craig's behavior.
Right. Or how Craig treats others, like threatening people's lives and all of that. Like the bitch made man he is.
Yeah, she wants pity for how Craig treats her, but not any anger for how he treats everybody else.
Well, that's her whole life story. She wants pity for everything she's involved in, but no accountability for her involvement.
Yeah.
That's just really the tune of her life. She complains nonstop about Craig to her mods. She swears she was looking for a way to get him out of the background. Yep. Just like she told Ben George and a couple other mods that she needed money to get to a hotel to get away from Craig, and then took all those monies from all those people and never told each other that you know, she's just it doesn't matter which way these people try to spin it. They can try to make it like their 2 years of coverage on Britney was all false and, you know, she's not this and she's not that. Doesn't matter that Craig or Nick and Hong went and now involved themselves to try to clean up for Britney. We have what you all put out. We have what you said under oath. And if anything, Hong, you're just putting yourself in a line of fire when it comes to this too. But that's what you need to feel important because you guys have nothing else going on in your life. Why don't you go buy the latest GTA and pretend to be a fucking gangster in that? We all know you're nothing more than losers that pretend to be something special when you're not. They had Yvette convinced that these were powerful people, that is good. Power recognizes power. Yeah. Is that what you were screaming through the halls in the jail cell? Power recognizes power. I mean, the fuck out of here. You people are nothing but a bunch of LARPers, a bunch of losers, and you won't be able to hide from what's coming. And the exposure has been so grand, so big that you keep changing your names, you keep hiding your accounts, you keep trying to do everything you can to stop from the world seeing just what fucking losers you all are. By the way, I don't know what your little contacts with Harvey Levy told you, but TMZ is still very fucking interested, as is other bigger local people that y'all probably should have left out of your latest bullshit.
The more you pile on and the more you do on this case, the more they will be interested because the bigger the final judgment will be, you fucking idiots.
Right. And the bigger the exposure on who the real organized ring of corruption truly is.
Yeah.
Which group of people had their own tip line? Which group of people were directing tips to go solely to them? Which group of people were out here pushing the hardest narratives and making it that people thought Sebastian was deceased? Which group of people were doing that?
Yep.
You're not investigators to say people interfered in investigations, and you're also not investigators to claim you're running your own investigation.
Which group of people were pushing for a no-body death investigation case?
Facts.
With a pickle bag.
And then Seth himself came out and said that they all used him.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Daria from MA, what happened to the new mic she was waiting for? So the other night she said, oh, this is because everybody was clearly still hearing him in the background. And she was trying to say that she got the new mic. Oh, well, this mic clearly isn't cutting it.
Oh, it's the mic. The mic failed. You know that one, that guy that said he lost his serpent belt, can't ever think of his name, but that he gave Brittany like $400 to get a really nice mic, to get one of those Rode mics, and she never bought the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Because the mics aren't good enough, and her man has no self-control. So it's not good enough just to have him go in a different room. So now her latest grift is she needs a she shed. What you need is a lawyer to answer your interrogatories, because if you haven't learned by now, they're not lawyers.
Listen, I've been trying to say this, okay? I've been trying to say this. If literally every single hate channel on that she calls a hate channel on the internet went away in her fever dream tomorrow, like if every single one of us went away, a whole new crop of people would come up and start giving her the exact same criticisms. The exact
absolutely.
Same, you know, she thinks that everybody else has to change and then everything will be better. That's not the way it's going to work.
No, obviously not. She can't even stay awake when covering Sebastian's case.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what anybody else is doing. It all has to do with her. But that's how she's always done what she's done. And that's why at her age, she's still stuck where she's stuck.
And if it was somebody else doing the same thing she's doing, they would also be getting that criticism.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Remember how Jay said at a certain point that we all treated you like the baby of the internet?
Oh, yeah.
Well, congratulations. Now she is literally defending a functional baby on the internet.
Facts.
A functional baby.
And ignoring everything they ever said and knew and did, and, you know, just now making all the excuses for an overgrown piece of shit that shields herself from criticism using her actual children and then cries victim. What a legacy to have. Congratulations.
And villainizing us and calling you a scammer for doing exactly what she fucking did a year ago.
Right.
What the actual fuck? You will literally do anything to anybody and then come and climb up on some fictional moral mountain. Fuck off. Sorry. Okay, I'm done.
No, it's the fucking truth. It's absolutely true. And they'll go back. They'll go back to saying everything they said for 2 years because none of that has changed. None of that has been disproven. The only thing that changed is situational convenience where they sit. And deep down, they know that. Brittany knows that. The mods all know that. Their top supporters all know that on all sides. And yeah, it'll be the hell of a fallout when it comes.
We haven't changed. They somehow got radicalized into something and act like we're these big villains. Fuck off.
Right. These big villains that you were in the midst of, that you were right there at, that you were all part of. Like, do they realize by claiming what they're claiming that about themselves?
It's insanity. Literal insanity.
It's crazy to think that this many people are that, again, detached from reality. They're detached from reality. They just really are. And it's pretty pathetic that for these big, powerful people, you have to keep using little old granny's name to get a little bit of attention. But I'm glad that you proved to help Brittany fraud the courts and you admit that you lied when putting her name and signed her signature.
Little old granny.
For being nothing more than just a felon street rat. They sure as hell need my name a lot, don't they?
Yeah. They sure like to pick on felons.
Yeah, those big bad felons over there. Watch out for them. They really thought this was a big gotcha moment. Boy, did they fuck around and find out. Because it is coming out. Grammy, thank you so much. No, I agree, Raven. I absolutely agree. But I have an upcoming appointment I got to get ready to. So I'm going to wrap this one up. You're not going live, Lynn?
Later.
Okay.
Not right now.
Not right now. I look forward to what you have.
Okay. Well, have a good appointment.
Thank you.
I will see y'all later. Bye, chat. See you later.
Thank you for coming up, Lynn.
No problem. Bye.
Yeah, she's going to a tattoo shop to get baby's ears pierced and maybe her wart nose pierced. At 39 years old, she needs her subscribers to pay for her to get a nose piercing. She's so cringe. So a co-plaintiff filed. Did BJ even read her filing? Pretty stupid, right, Riverhouse? Pretty stupid. But remember this, when Brittany cries, she's a victim again, and she again puts the onus on Nick and Hung and say that they did it or they misguided her. Because that's what will come. We all know that's how that goes. But in the meantime, in between time, I got some shit to do. Congratulations to Clue and Cletus for their happy marriage day. That is so exciting. I appreciate you all spending the morning with me. If you haven't, would you please consider hitting a thumbs up on your way out? Oh, wait a minute. Do I say it? Do I not? Do I make you guys wait or do I say it? Let me just put it this way. Maybe y'all should be careful about who you call criminals, who you're accusing of breaking laws, and what you're out here doing. Let me just say that. Let me just say, DA, that. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Gotta go. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you all next time. Bye, friends.